Howdy. How's it going? Is the music too loud or is it okay? You know me and my volume constantly changing all the time. Hi, how's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Fabulous Friday. Internet Eye, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate you. Suh, dude. I feel like I haven't heard somebody say suh in a long time. Music is good. Great. You caught a cold? I'm sorry. That's rough. It's that time of year, you know? Drinking a bambucha today. I really wish I was drinking a coffee, but I ran out of cold brew, so I had cold brew this morning, so it's not like I don't think I could be here if I hadn't had a coffee yet today, but I just want more, so, but I had kombucha, so that will do. Just got off work. Nice. Good to see you, cuz. Oh my God, don't even. I can't. Suck, cuz. I can't. It just makes me think of that. What, this Too Fast, Too Furious? That's all I think of. Ketchup stream and never saw or heard a single word from it. I don't know what you're talking about, Keith. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the movie Razor Bikini. That is an interesting name. Forget about it, iconic line. It really it really is. Oh my God. Oy, those movies. Y'all, so how are you and how's your back? Thank you, Orsha. My back is fine. It's better than last week, but it was super stiff last night, so it's just kind of a thing that like changes day by day. I just am old now. I think it's just gonna be my life now. So it's good right now, but sitting in a chair does make it worse. So, but I did move this morning, so we should be good. We should be good. You said you were running behind. Oh. I did show up. What are you talking about, Keith? Are you losing your mind? You thought the technology failed, so you never showed up. You had to refresh the page, probably. That does happen a lot with live streams. If you jump in too early, sometimes it appears like the person isn't on, and you just have to refresh the page. Jonathan, don't jinx us. Sorry for the people on Twitch who don't know what Jonathan said. He said, "Do you think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl?" Shh, I don't know, okay? It's whatever the refs will decide. Gregsley, thank you for the tier 1. I am not a referee in the game, so I don't know. Are you going to do the rest of The Walking Dead? Eventually, yes. I think I need to finish Detroit Become Human. So initially, the stream was titled Hollywood Drama and Reacts. Maybe some games afterwards. But realistically, I changed the title and got rid of the maybe games afterwards because I think we're going to be here a little while. I have quite a few videos of things we can watch. I think we're just going to be here a little while. So next time, maybe will be a Detroit Become Human stream. I really want to finish that game and then potentially go to Walking Dead Season 2. It just depends on what else is going on. You know, if a game pops up that's more pressing, I might do that. But I definitely have plans to return. I was going to say I enjoyed it, but I can't say I enjoyed it because it destroyed me. That Egyptian, thank you for the tier 1 for 8 months. You're crazy. I feel like games stress you out. Lol. They kind of do, I guess. But not all games. Just the games that are fun for you to watch. Zanzibar White, thank you for the bits. 100, a streamer is never late, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to. Exactly. I am Gandalf. Exactly. Yeah, pretty much every game I play stresses me out in a different way now that you think about it, or now that you mention it. Except for Stardew Valley. But even Stardew Valley can be stressful if you're fighting the clock. So I just feel things intensely. I'm 5 minutes late, don't fire me. Cutting it close, Juliana. I'll let it slide this time. But if it happens again, I'm gonna have to speak with HR. My hands are tied. Hera there, thanks for the bits. Is that a Gimli emote? That's amazing. Yes, I hate Stardew Valley clock. Dude, I'm such an idiot. So when I first started playing Stardew Valley years ago, I didn't really understand everything the game had to offer, and I didn't really get it. And so the clock like pissed me off. All I wanted to do was get a mod that would stop the clock. And I didn't understand that like that is a very important part of the game. Like that is a game mechanic basically. And I was just like, I just want to stop the clock. I don't like it. I was late, please don't kick me. Well, you're fine, Stuntman Daddy, but Juliana works here. She's a mod, so it's hard to find good work these days. Never mind. Oh, I felt bad to say. You guys are here for free. Well, thank you saying that. It was just a joke, okay? Chris, thank you for the super chat. I hate Chiefs more than I dislike the Eagles, so go Eagles. Thank you. I will heart that. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is pretty much the consensus for most football fans here in America. They're like, wow, this is the worst potential Super Bowl outcome that it could have happened. Like, this is the worst option. This happened 2 years ago and it's happening again. How exciting. So everyone's like, well, fuck, can the Eagles just fucking win? I'm sick of this shit. So I do feel kind of bad for every football fan who's not an Eagles or Chiefs fan, because it's just not exciting for you, and I'm sorry. But it is nice to have people rooting for us, even if they're literally forced to because they just don't want the Chiefs to win. It feels nice, so I'll take it. I don't know. I'm hopeful, but I'm nervous. Anyway, Zed, thank you for the Prime for 3 months. Bears is better than Eagles. Well, the playoff season would beg to differ. But yeah, whatever makes you feel better. Martin, thank you so much for the gifted membership. To Keith, how exciting. Lawson, thank you for the super chat. TMI, but I got my wisdom teeth out this morning, so this stream is how I'm spending my recovery. Oh, that's not TMI in my book. Trust me, that's not that bad. I wish you a speedy recovery. I'm not trying to scare you, but I had a really rough recovery from my wisdom tooth surgery, like really bad, but I'm sure yours will go smooth. Most people's, I feel like it goes so smooth, and within like a week, they're pretty much back to normal. So I hope it went well. Enjoy your recovery day. You know what I did? The days after my wisdom tooth surgery when I couldn't do anything, that was the era when Jersey Shore was popular, and I had never really watched it, and I just watched Jersey Shore. And I think that's probably why I got dry sockets, because that show's not good for you. DJ Low, thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. I don't know why I'm making noises. I'm not talking about talent, I'm talking about culture. Oh. Sure. I don't know. I've never been to a Bears game. But, you know, nobody likes the Eagles culture except for the Eagles. So. I am sad that it's not a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl. We were so close. We were so close. And I have a lot of Bills friends. I have a lot of Eagles friends too, but I have a lot of Bills friends. And we were so close. And it was funny because initially I think we were like, ooh, if we, we're in a Super Bowl together, we'll have to throw a party together, naturally. But then once we beat the Commanders, I was watching with a bunch of my Eagles friends at a bar, and they were like, Natalie, if the Bills win, that's not a good idea. And I was like, oh, you're probably right. That's probably a really bad idea. Because the last time the Eagles played the Bills, we did have a party, and it did get very heated very quickly. And there was a fight. We're all still friends, but there was one. It was funny because it was like a friend got mad at me because I said fuck you, but I was saying it like half-heartedly, and it was after they had said it. Like, they had said fuck you to me, so I was like, I roasted them a little bit and said fuck you, and I thought we were moving on, and this friend got really upset, not at me necessarily, but he was more like, oh my god, she hates me. And I was like, no. And like at the end he texted me, like, he was like, are we good? I'm like, yeah, we're good, I love you. Like, what's wrong? He was like, you said fuck you, and I'm like, so did you. He was like, yeah, but I've never heard you say that to me before. I was like, oh my god, we're fine, relax. Anyway, I haven't heard of MG without Spider-Man, Darius, so I don't know. Jeff, thank you so much for the super chat. Have you watched Wicked? If not, any chance we could see it on the channel? I had no interest till I watched it. Now I'm a big fan. Go Eagles. Oh my god, I'm so glad you loved it. So here's the thing. I initially wasn't going to do a reaction, but people have been demanding it. The reason I wasn't going to do a reaction is I did see it in theaters. I dressed up as Elphaba, of course. Actually, uno momento. What's that line? Wait, hold on. You deserve each other, this hat and you. You're both so smart. It's a very big hat, so I did take it off in the theater. I didn't block anybody's vision, don't worry. That would be so rude. And then Tyler wore this with a little pink scarf. It was very fun. So, I did see it in theaters once, only once, but I'm like, maybe I should just film a reaction to it because I loved it, and I did have to pee in the middle of the movie, so there's a scene I missed, and I did go at the right time, though. I knew when to go because I know the musical. I went during the song, That Boy. He could be that boy, because I don't really love that song. I was like, I'm gonna go right now. It's fine. This song is like meh. So that's when I went and peed, and Tyler was like, you picked the perfect time. I'm like, I know. But could definitely revisit it. I was considering doing a poll. Not That Girl, that's what it's called. Yeah, I can never remember I'm really bad at remembering the titles of songs. I can remember all the lyrics, I just couldn't tell you what the name is of most of the songs, like, except for like, Defying Gravity and like Loathing and Wicked, but You Lost Me at Musical. Well, it's your loss, Zanzibar. Sorry. It's a great time. It was a really great time. Really well done. I was very pleasantly surprised, to be honest. I never doubted Cynthia, and I kind of didn't doubt Ariana. I was a little nervous about Ariana, but I knew she had a Broadway background, and I knew she was funny. So I was like, I think she'll be great. I just wasn't sure, but Cynthia I knew would be great because I'd seen her on Broadway. But I was nervous about the direction, especially when I heard how long it was going to be. I was very nervous, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I remember like a third of the way in, Tyler and I just looked at each other, and he was like, it's good. And I was like, I know. We were so excited. I will say the pacing is probably the only thing I had an issue with. It is too long. It's definitely too long. They milk some of the songs a little bit too long. Nata, you're like 4'5" even with that hat. You ain't blocking no one. 4'5"? Jesus Christ. I've had some people tell me that they thought I was tall until they saw my Instagram. I'm not 4'5", by the way, okay? Flip those numbers, all right? That's more accurate. But I am short. I was surprised about how much I liked it. A lot of people felt that way. And Lila, my bestie, is a big Broadway girly. She's been on Broadway. She's very, very critical of things like that, naturally, because she's very talented. And she was like, I have no words. It's flawless. I love it. I was like, wow, that is how you know you won. You won. Fabulous direction. In heels. I know. I don't know much about I haven't really been following the Defenders series, but potentially Daredevil, but I don't know if I'm I'm not caught up on Daredevil. I didn't see season 3, so I don't know. I have a lot to think about. There's a lot going on. You have tall person energy. Thank you so much. Sorry, that was awkward. Thank you so much for saying that. It's very nice of you. I think I have tall person energy too, but I did do the TikTok filter a while back, like a long time ago. It's posted on my TikTok that I never post on. A long time ago I did that filter that tells you what your energy is, like how tall you are. And it did not guess a tall height. It was very sad. What are we talking about? A lot of things. Oxcan, but welcome. Welcome in. I wish I saw the stage play back in the day. I just always dismissed it. I saw the stage play, not with the original cast, but I did see the stage play. I think Tyler might have seen it with the original cast, which is crazy. I don't know that for a fact, though. That was the first musical he ever saw, was Wicked. So he loves Wicked. That was not the first musical I saw, but I do love it. It was probably... No, I can't even say that. I was going to say it's the first musical I learned all the words to, but that's just not true. That's not true. It was The Lion King. The Lion King was the first musical I saw and the first musical I learned all the words to. Are you going to put Severance in a TV poll anytime soon? I think so, Joel. I think so. Hello from Spain. Hello. Hola. I don't know why, but that felt like weird. That I did that. I feel like I should apologize. I don't know why. I love Spain though. I want to go back. Where do you live in Spain, Coco, if you don't mind sharing? I've been to Madrid. I was going to say it with an accent and then I stopped myself. So it sounded a little weird the way I just said it. I've been to Madrid, Barcelona. I can't help it. I just love rolling my R's. It's so fun. And Valencia. Buongiorno. Do you like Hamilton? Yeah. I think Hamilton is good. I do think it's overrated. But I'm happy that a lot of people loved it. I do think it deserved some hype, and I saw it before it was on Broadway, actually. I'm one of those. Honestly, I just happened to live in New York City when it was at the Public, and it wasn't on Broadway yet, so I just got lucky with that. But then I did see it on Broadway again. So it was great. I just think it got definitely overhyped for what it was. I was like, this is a really good show, but like, Jesus, some people were so obsessed. But also, like, I don't know. I like Lin-Manuel Miranda a lot in terms of his writing. I think he's a very talented writer, but I don't necessarily love him as a performer. So I think that, like, I probably would like somebody else in the role of Hamilton more if I went back and saw it again. Have you seen the Superman trailer yet? Yeah, we watched that on a stream a little while back. I don't know if we watched it on a public stream or a Patreon only, like a top tier patron stream. I don't know. Do you favor the Twitch viewers? What are you talking about? I've been replying to both chats this whole time. Danny DeVito as Alexander Hamilton. I would pay money to see that, actually. It's cold in Madrid? Oh, you're chilling right now in Madrid, but there was a chilly emoji earlier, so is it cold there? Madrid is great. I loved Madrid. I loved the people there. It felt like a very friendly city for such a big city. Everybody was so nice. And maybe that's because I was like the American idiot wandering around with bad Spanish. But everybody was really friendly. Barcelona, people were like fine, but it was like not as friendly. Not like mean or anything, just like kind of keeping to themselves a little bit more. Madrid, it was like so warm and welcoming. At least my experience. Wanted to drop a lurk. Have a great stream. Thank you, Asthal. I appreciate you. I totally understand that. I am a lurker myself when I watch live streams. Bodog, thank you so much for the super chat. As a New York Giants fan, it's tough, but okay, fly, Eagles fly. Wow, that means a lot. That means so much. I hope you didn't curse us. Thank you. You know, my dad is a Giants fan, and my mom is a Cowboys fan. And both of them have told me recently that they think they're gonna surrender and just become Bills fans because they can't do it anymore. They're from upstate New York, so it really doesn't make sense why my mom is a Cowboys fan. It makes no sense at all whatsoever. My dad, it makes more sense, but they're so depressed. Like they're just they're so depressed. They're like, we can't do this anymore. What film of 2024 made you think, what the fuck did I just watch? Let me go back and look at my channel real quick, because I have a horrible memory. But if I take a peek. Oh. What the fuck did I just watch? Let's see. Some of the Fast and the Furious movies definitely did that. Like some of the early ones. Like 2 and 4. That definitely made me think that. Honestly, Long Legs kind of did that to me. I know a lot of people don't like that opinion, but Long Legs kind of did that to me a little bit. Starship Troopers did that, but in the best way. Starship Troopers did that. Oh yeah, Madam Web. Madam Web, but I kind of went into Madam Web knowing it was going to be a shit show, so I almost like... I was expecting it, but Madam Web for sure. Yeah, those are definitely some examples. Starship Troopers, but in a great way, where you're just like, this is amazing! But it's like, what the heck is happening? But I loved it. Chris, nobody wants me to watch Ant-Man Quantumania except you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think anybody really wants that. I don't want that. I'm sorry. Did you see the video with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson talking about moving the Hollywood industry to Texas? No? What? Was Civil War a disappointment? I never watched Civil War, but I remember that trailer looked so good. But then I remember the reception on it was meh, so I just didn't check it out. I was disappointed to hear that because it looked crazy from the trailer. And wasn't that, oh my God. Isn't that A24? Yes, it was. Okay. My brain couldn't remember or not. Can't wait till your Fast 9 reaction. Bro, there's no guarantee I'll make it there. I keep putting off watching 8 because I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. Woody and Matthew reprise their true detective characters for that Texas ad. It's pretty bad. A Texas ad? So they're advertising that the industry moved to Texas, or is it just a commercial and True Detective style, both actors in the same roles? Is it really a commercial about moving the industry to Texas, or is it just a commercial for something else and they make jokes like that? I love long legs, but it's not for everybody. Yeah. It's not that I don't think it's the worst movie I've ever seen. Like, I think cinematically, it's the cinematography and like the lighting and the composition of shots is really cool. But that's really about all I can say about it that I liked. It's really the only nice thing I can say. They want more film productions in Texas, essentially. So it really was an ad for that. That's interesting. If they want more film productions in Texas, you just kind of have to create film incentives. Make it really cheap to film there. And then also, you do need like the industry there. You do need like to build up the resources that, like crew and stuff. Guys, if I act weird, I mean, what else is new? I act weird all the time. But if you like see me repeating myself or doing a double take, I just have to tell you, I had some hearing damage happen at the bar last weekend watching the Eagles game. Somebody screamed very loud next to this ear and it hurt. And since then I've been hearing static. I'm not even exaggerating. And I keep hearing it right now while I'm talking. So it's kind of tripping me up a little bit and kind of making me like, it's not that bad. It was worse a few days ago, but it's kind of, it's a little bit, distracting. So if you just see me stuttering or getting distracted, I think it'll go away too. I'm not calling the ENT anytime soon. Like, it's too soon. We just gotta wait a little bit. It's not tinnitus, homunculus. Like, I've had tinnitus before. This is just static. Like, it sounds like my left ear is sometimes tuning to a radio station. Sometimes. Just did it just there. It's doing it. It's doing it again. It doesn't feel great. Might want to get that looked at. I mean, I think here's my thing. It's not even been a week yet. I'm going to wait a couple weeks, but it's already gotten better. Like, it was much worse a couple days ago. If it doesn't get better in a couple weeks, I will make an appointment, but it's too soon, I think, right now. Powers, thank you for the bits. If Hollywood moved to Texas, what would that do to California and Texas industry-wise? I don't know. I don't really foresee that happening. I mean, Atlanta's already pretty established. Atlanta's already pretty established. And here's the thing, like, there's a lot of celebrities and people who I think would be totally happy moving to Texas, politics-wise, and like maybe they're from Texas or they're from the South and they actually feel more at home there. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would love that. There's a lot of people in the industry out here who are like, fuck no. So the likelihood that Hollywood's just gonna up and move completely to Texas, no, it's not gonna happen. Now, I think a film industry will pop up there because it's very expensive to get permits for filming here in LA. And that's why Atlanta blew up the way it did. That's why people film in all kinds of different states. There's plenty of film incentives all over the country. I know somebody who started a film industry in upstate New York, and he's had some success with that. But does it mean that all of the industry professionals he works with have moved there? No. He frequently has to hire people outside of LA and pay them to travel. And then they go right back. Or New York. So I don't think it's gonna happen. It's an interesting ad. I kind of want to check out that ad now. I remember wanting to try Korean dishes, try Korean barbecue. It's gluten-free. I mean, thank you, Chris, for the recommendation in the super chat. I don't think it's always gluten-free because it just depends on the sauces and things like that. Like, I've seen some Korean barbecue places that aren't safe for me, actually. But I haven't tried it before, and I definitely think I would like it. I would just have to find a place that I know is guaranteed safe. Powers, thank you for the bits. I heard there was a musical bug going around this stream. Maybe this will be the year we get Anna and the Apocalypse for Nightmares this October. That zombie Christmas musical that pulls on the heartstrings. You know, I have heard of that before, but I completely forgot about it. I'm not gonna lie. American High in Syracuse. Yes, Eric. You know. Yep. But it's not like there's a whole Hollywood in Syracuse, right? It's just American High. So in the ad, they had Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, Dennis Quaid, Billy Bob Thornton, and Renee Zellweger. Interesting. Super Bowl is somewhat exciting because of both of the commercials, and it's the finale of games. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the commercials used to be better. Is that just me, like, being old now? But, like, I remember back in, like, the early 2000s, I feel like the commercials were actually unhinged and really funny. And, like, occasionally you'll get a funny one now, but, like, it used to be, like, every commercial was a fucking banger. Like, I would watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials. And now, if you watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials, there's something wrong with you, and you should get checked out. So, what you doing? Me? I'm streaming. Yeah, it's gotten worse. It's definitely gotten worse. I miss the Clydesdales. Well, the Clydesdales are fun, but they weren't, like, that wasn't really a funny commercial. That was more just, like, Budweiser. Classic. The commercials are just nostalgia bait stuff now. Yeah, and then it feels icky. You're getting to that age when you said older was better. I know. I always feel so old when I do that. But sometimes it's just true. Like, you don't hear Gen Z talking about how funny the Super Bowl commercials are. You hear millennials talking about how funny they used to be. So it's just true. But I do feel old. It does make me feel older. KCS. We check comments for, I think comments would be the best way. If you are on the Patreon, that's a great way too. But the comments on YouTube videos, like recent YouTube videos, I would say. Sorry, goodness. Do you attend Super Bowl parties? I'm throwing one this year, which could be very exciting or very sad. We'll see what happens. I've attended some in the past. I don't think I even watched it last year, to be honest. Who played last year? I know it was the Chiefs. Who played? Was it? It wasn't the 49ers, was it? Oh, it was the 49ers. Okay, I was right. That's why I didn't watch. Because I don't like either team. I was like kind of rooting for the 49ers, but I just was like, I'm not going to pay attention to this. I don't care. Which is probably how a lot of people feel about the Eagles and the Chiefs. So, sorry. How can a party be sad? When it's a Super Bowl party, your team loses and you're very sad. So that's how it could be sad. The only way it will be a fun party is if we destroy the Chiefs, which is probably not going to happen. Guys, we have a magic 8-ball in our house. And we ask that magic 8-ball a lot of questions. Sometimes questions about life stuff, sometimes questions about, is this team going to win? Whatever, you know. We just kind of ask that magic 8-ball questions a lot of the time. And I have to say, a lot of the times it's right. Like a lot. Like more than not. I literally asked in the middle of the Lions Commanders game, in the middle when they were neck and neck, and it was like a battle. I said, "Are the Commanders going to win?" And the magic 8-ball said yes, without a doubt. I was like, okay. And then Tyler asked if we would beat the Commanders, and it said yes. Neither of us have asked about the Super Bowl because we just can't. We can't bring ourselves to do it. We can't. It's too scary. I feel like it's tempting fate, but it's a very accurate Magic 8 Ball. Were you ever in a play, like a play on stage? Yeah, I've been in a ton. Not in any recent years. It's been a while. But I've been in many plays. Kendrick got to play Not Like Us. Yeah, I love Kendrick, so that'll be fun. At least. It's the house ghost affecting the 8 Ball. I know, maybe. Maybe. Although I really do feel like I cleansed that spirit out of here. Like I don't have the same kind of spooky vibes. It was so crazy that when I was sat down to watch, I think it was Hereditary, when my plaque fell down, because that never, ever, ever, ever happens. That only happened that one time when I was sitting down to watch a scary ghost movie. That's fucking crazy. Like, that was hilarious. All glory to the Magic 8 Ball. Yes. I'm praying to the Magic 8 Ball. Hope you don't use it for big life decisions. Not really, no. I mean, big life decisions, you kind of just have to trust your gut, you know? Sondheim's Company. Yeah, Eric knows. Sondheim's Company. That was a long time ago. Oh my God. Bobby. That song will never leave my head. Michael, we were talking about Wicked earlier in this stream, so you can rewind on YouTube if you want and go back and watch it. I think you can still rewind. But yes, I did. And yes, I did. I liked it. I'm just looking forward to the end of Stranger Things. I know! I'm dying to know when they're gonna release it. Okay, I'm gonna separate myself from the microphone here real quick. Oh, we just met a follower goal. How exciting. On Twitch. Yay. Thanks for following, guys. Tahoe Techie, you did it. You got us to 8,100. I'm done now. No more followers. I'm good. That's all I wanted. I didn't know it like notified you every 100. That's kind of fun. Mighty Hobo, thank you for the 13 months. Missed stream because I was passing my CDL exam. Hey! Congratulations! Do you actually know if you passed or not yet? That's so exciting. And you didn't miss stream. You made it just in time. We only started like 30 minutes ago. Powers, thank you for the bits. They made a really bad movie about the Ouija board. I know. We need a horror movie about an evil 8 Ball. That's right. I guess they made that movie Ouija. They could just make the movie and it could be called 8. That's it. Just 8. You see the Until Dawn trailer? I did. It looked fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I hope it's good because it looked really fun. I like the concept of it like starting over and over like Groundhog's Day. That was really fun. You did? Congrats! That is so awesome. Okay, let me, I'm gonna just step away from the mic for a second so you don't have to hear me blowing my nose. And then we'll get into some of the videos. I'm still hearing static in my left ear when I talk. It's not fun. They made a movie about a telepathic killing rubber tire. No, they did not. You know, they'll make a movie about anything nowadays, so. Woo. Okay. Maybe that'll help the static in my ear. Okay. Have you reacted to anime? The only animes I've reacted to, I can't really do it on YouTube. Like I can, plenty of people do, right? But you just run the risk of getting copyright stricken by Japan because, you know, Japan, they don't play by the same rules over there. It's not like the country's going to come for me, but, you know, companies in Japan don't play by the same rules. But I did do some exclusive Patreon-only reacts to some Studio Ghibli films, which I probably should do another exclusive one sometime soon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. COVID-25 was born. Bro. I mean, I still have like a little bit of that phlegm left from COVID. Isn't that insane? It's pretty much gone now, but it's still just lingering. When I say that it's been getting 1% better every day, I really think it's actually getting 1% better every day. Like, it's fucking crazy. Blue Eye Samurai, please. A lot of people, well, no, that's not true. A lot of people have requested Attack on Titan, but it's really just been one person that's been really persistent. Screaming for Attack on Titan. Also, my gardener, I don't know if he still watches my videos, but he used to watch my videos. Like, he found them authentically on his own. And then when he came back to, like, garden, he was like, is this you? And then he was like, he told me to watch Attack on Titan too. So, but Japan came after the Mexican government because of public screenings of Dragon Ball, so you're not wrong. Exactly. That's another thing is I'm like, even if I do it with like another channel and that channel gets blocked, it still affects any channels that like your YouTube AdSense accounts are all linked. So it still would affect, I think it would still affect my other channels and it would be treated like a ban evasion if I was posting. So I can't even do it on another YouTube channel. Like I could, it's just risking everything I've ever built. And I don't really want to risk that. She's a gardener, lol. I mean, yeah. We have a pretty green backyard and they come over like once every 2 months, but yeah. It's not like he's over here every week. It's a nice little father-son duo. They're great. Okay. Oh, it's funny you ask that, Toyline Assembly. Any chance of continuing some small reactions to Honest Trailers pitch meetings from the movies you've reacted to? Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I do actually have a pitch meeting that I kind of want to watch today. I don't really like getting too deep into pitch meetings all the time because I feel like it just gets repetitive. But I did notice that Ryan, pitch meeting, he posted Squid Game Season 2 pitch meeting today. I kind of am curious if he thinks some of the same things I thought. Have Tyler start a channel? Yeah, is it considered ban evasion if I get my husband to do it? He started from his email. Is that ban evasion if I'm posting on a completely different account that's not linked? It probably still would be. Are you caught up with Squid Game now? Oh, yeah. I forgot to say. So I literally was uploading my part 2 today, but I didn't release it because I just couldn't get all of the thumbnails and stuff finalized in time to release it today. So I'm releasing it tomorrow, but I am totally caught up. You can't watch spoilers? But I really want to watch it. I really can. You just maybe look away for a little bit? I'm really curious. It's only 5 minutes. The Twilight pitch meetings are a masterpiece. I bet they are. I probably should watch one of those. Looking away for 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just do it quick.
So, you got a new season of Squid Game for me? Yes, sir, I do. Oh boy, I can't wait to see what's going on with you know what? Now that there are multiple years between seasons of popular shows, I can't keep track of anything.
Right, dude? That's what I was fucking saying. It's like too much time between shows. I also thought he was going to make a joke about how he couldn't remember anybody's name but Gi-hun, because that's also hard to do as a American who doesn't speak Korean.
thing. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's just a consequence of the dumb new model. Hey, don't bring my third wife into this. We're very happy, and she has nothing to do with our release schedules. What? So tell me about this thing. Refresh my Squid Game information. Right, so at the end of the last season, Gi-hun had dyed his hair red and was about to board a plane to go see his daughter, but then he changed his mind. Horrible decision. Yeah, well, he wants to stop the games. No, I meant the red hair. Right.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Not like that. We'll change it immediately. Good call, yeah. So now a couple years have passed, and he's spending all his money trying to track down that recruiter guy who got him into the games in the first place. Okay. And when he finally comes face to face with the recruiter, they're gonna play Russian roulette. And why would Gi-hun agree to that? Because he wants this guy to admit he's a dog for the front man, and this guy thinks Gi-hun is trash. So why is he risking his life playing against trash? Because. Oh, okay. But also, how does Gi-hun expect to end the games if he loses at Russian roulette right now? Well, he's not gonna lose. See, I'm the one controlling the outcome.
Right, he's got plot armor. He's fine.
How are you doing that? So anyway, he does win, and then that detective shows up. Remember from the last season, he was the brother of the guy running the games, and he got shot? Oh yeah, the front man shot him off a cliff in the least fatal way imaginable. Exactly. So what's he gonna do in this season? Well, other than briefly helping out right now, he's gonna spend the rest of the season on a boat trying.
Nobody was surprised that he was alive, right? Like, I turned up the volume. Is it good now? I turned it up. But let me know if you guys want it louder. That was obvious, right? I feel like there were some people who were like, "Oh my God!" Like, nobody was shocked, right? Like, it was the most obvious
the Squid Game
fake
island,
death
so
ever.
he's investigating like last season, but like a worse version of that.
Yeah.
Not actually on the island this time, just kind of looking for it. So he's just on a boat, not accomplishing anything. That's right.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like we're just going to be cutting away to a travel show. Yeah, doesn't that sound kind of nice though? You know what? It kind of does. Little breaks from the violence. Let's watch this guy in a boat. So anyway, they equip Gi-hun with a tracker on his tooth, and he's going to be brought to the island. So they plan on finding the location that way. Yeah, but right before red light, green light starts, he realizes his tracker is gone, so now he's like, uh-oh, I'm in the games for real, and no one's coming to get me. Whoops. Whoopsie. So he tries to save as many people as he can, but a bunch get killed. Fatal, unless you're like a main character. So then throughout the season, we're gonna get to know all these other players playing the game this year. Who's in there? Well, Gi-hun has a friend in there, like last season. Another friend in there. Well, what are the odds of that? I don't know. 2? What? And there's a cowardly dude, and a trans lady, and a pregnant lady. What's her deal? She's pregnant. Whoa!
That's her
baby
deal.
daddy is in there, and he's a crypto bro who lost a ton of money for himself and a bunch of other people. That does sound like a crypto bro. Yeah, really pissed off Thanos with that one. I'm sorry, what? Thanos? He lost a lot of money listening to this guy? I don't think we're allowed to use that character. Oh, sorry, this is a character who calls himself Thanos. He's also a crypto bro.
Yeah, now that I think about it, like, would Disney come for them for that? Can they? Do they have a right to? They made a joke about Infinity Stones. Is that a problem? Like, I didn't even think about that.
Rapper and a drug addict. Okay, Marvel Thanos sounds like less of a douche. Yeah, no, this guy does suck. And then we're also going to have a storyline where we follow one of the PlayStation controller buttons, and she's trying to stop this organ harvesting plot. And where does that story go? Somewhere, presumably.
Somewhere, maybe, eventually, but not anywhere in this season yet. So, yeah, that's cool. Yo, I've seen you on YouTube. Yeah, you have. What's up? I think if it crosses into mainstream culture, it's allowed. That's what I would figure. Oh, I'm glad you liked 42. That was a great movie.
Of our business right now. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, and we're also going to reveal that the front man himself has put himself into the games. He gave himself number 001. Wasn't that the very same number that the other secretly evil guy had in the first season?
Oh my God! I didn't even think about that. I totally forgot what number that old man had.
And that doesn't raise any alarms for Gi-hun. It does not, because he is pretty dumb, so they become friends.
Gi-hun is sweet. She's a precious, naive baby. But also, I forgot that was the old man's number, so I kind of don't blame him for forgetting the number.
Well, okay then. Oh, and this year there's an added element where if the majority of players vote to leave, they can after each game. Sudden democracy is tight. Yeah, but everybody keeps voting to continue playing or the show would get boring really quick. That makes sense. So then they're going to play another game where it's actually several mini games, like Mario Party.
Right.
Yeah, like Mario Party with there's some follow through on the murderous feelings that arise. Wow. And then there's going to be another game called Mingle. Ugh, I'd rather die. I didn't even explain the rules yet. Oh, I thought it was like a networking event or something. No, it's this thing where they call out a number and then you quickly got to gather that number of people
Mingle's the episode that like I just lost it emotionally with. That was the only episode where I just could not stop crying. Oh no. Never mind. I was getting confused. PlayStation controller
themselves
buttons.
off into a room and kiss. Yeah. No, wait, no. Whatever. Anyway, so a
Oh
bunch
my
of people die in that game, and the next vote ends up being a tie. What does that mean? Well, it means they gotta re-vote the next day, but our guy knows this is the point where people start killing each other. So what does he do? Well, he makes a plan with a bunch of his buddies to let a bunch of people die and then play dead and steal guns from the guards. He's gonna knowingly let people die? Yeah, and the front man is like, yes, let the hate flow through you. Keon's totally gonna become the next front man, isn't he? No theorizing.
Oh, yeah. Right? Ooh. Oh my God. That's just the ultimate downfall.
Sorry. So then they do that and kill a bunch of guards despite being outnumbered and outmatched and outskilled and whatnot. Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, big old shootout. So Guion wants to get to the top of that staircase area and kill the people in charge. That doesn't seem like a very fleshed out plan. Yeah, no, it's not, because again, he's kind of a dumb guy. And why would any of the people who voted to continue playing even let them attempt that? Hey, shut up. So the shootout lasts for so long that they run out of ammo, and then the front man reveals himself and kills the main guy's friend. Oh my goodness, pretty crazy. Gonna be tough to make next season just as exciting as this one. Actually, it's gonna be super easy.
Barely an inconvenience, yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. So we'll just cut it right off there. What? Yeah, we're done.
That's it.
Stop it now. Well, that feels more like a mid-season break than a season finale.
We stop it now. We'll just stop it. Stop it right now. That's. I've heard so many people like apologizing, like being apologists. Like, no, like you see, like they probably have a lot of more coming, and you know, there's no way that it could have worked, and so like it makes sense. And I'm like, no, it's like I get it if they have a lot of stuff planned and already scripted out and filmed, but like. It still was a meh ending for a finale. It still felt like a midpoint. So, like, it's a fair criticism. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I accidentally wrote one super long season instead of two, so let's just kind of end it abruptly. Should we maybe market this as half a season then? No. Oh, okay, cut it.
Right? Should have been probably part one.
Hi, this is Ryan George from...
I think it should have been marketed that way, but, you know, whatever. Guys, go give... Ryan, a like. We have had much fun reacting to his pitch meetings in the past. He's very funny. I'm sure you've heard of him, but if not, please go show his channel some love. Haven't watched season 2, but wow, that sounds like an underwhelming season. Yeah. It was still, like, the thing is, what I like about Squid Game is the cast and the acting, but it just... Season 2 was not as tight as season 1. Okay. So, what should we react to first? Twilight pitch me. Okay. Maybe I should do polls on both Twitch and... I'm going to do a quick poll. I'll do it on both platforms. Just give me a second here. Give me uno momento. Because I have a video here about... I thought I had another one. But I have a video... I thought I had another Snow White video saved that I thought also was interesting. This is only 5 minutes, though. Natty Eyes, hi! Okay. Poll on YouTube. Let me do a quick one over on Twitch. I always kind of forget how to do it, so just, there we go. Poll. Create a poll. What next? We're not going to do this every time. I'm just going to go in the order of voting. All right. Cool. Don't mess up the vote chat. We've already watched the 28 Years Later trailer before KCS. Again, I can't remember if I did that on a patron-only stream or a public stream, but I have seen it, and it looks very scary. What if both polls have different winners? You know, I didn't factor that in. I didn't consider that. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. I will probably just guess. For trailers, it's just 2 that I have, which is Last of Us and Invincible. Just do all 3. I'm going to do all 3, Snake Eyes. This is about the order. We're going to do all of it. This is about the order. Don't worry. Can't go that high. You can add up the percentage. Yeah, I could, but it's not really the same pools, like number of votes probably. But I really don't like doing math, Matt. I'm not going to lie with you because I'm kind of an idiot. What did I accidentally pinned somebody. Oops. Pinned somebody's message by mistake. My bad. YouTube versus Twitch poll. We'll do a recount of the votes. Stop the vote. Yeah, there's no order, just chaos. I think at this point, okay, it's been 2 minutes on YouTube. I'm ending this. Trailers definitely won. Twilight pitch meeting was second. Snow White was first. Oh, the poll ended. Bitch, where are the results? Why can't... Hold on. Why isn't it? View results. There we go. Trailers. Snow White was a narrow second on this one. Okay, well, we'll start with trailers, and then we'll see how we feel after that. I might. I'll just make an executive decision, but it most likely Twilight, because I think that's what most people wanted. Okie dokie. Cool, cool, cool. See, it worked out great, because everybody wanted the same thing. Isn't that great? So Natalie didn't have to do math. Yay. Here we go. I'm gonna start with Invincible because I feel like The Last of Us season 2. I just kind of want to save it. Here we go.
Over the last 90 days, Mark's speed has increased 65%, his endurance 70%, and his strength 138%.
Wow.
Fuck me! Way to make a fellow superhero feel inadequate. Glad it's not leg day.
You feel like trying out those new muscles of yours?
Damn.
Sir, we have intense geological events all over the country.
Are you working with D.A. Sinclair? He turned people into monsters.
You don't waste people like that. You reform them. You killed Angstrom Levy. Should I lock you up too?
You know that was different.
Wow.
Mark, we can be the good guys, or we can be the guys that save the world. We can't be both.
Kid Omni-Man is here!
He told me the O was for Oliver.
Cecil, I can never trust you with either
Mark was
or
growing
Oliver's
up,
lives,
or Oliver's
no matter
growing up.
what.
Ouch.
Oliver, you gotta
Oliver,
look out for other
no.
people.
You guys are in big trouble!
Oh my god, it's like the cycle feels like it's almost like repeating, but not quite, because Mark isn't the same as his father, but it just feels like that, you know? I'm like, oh god, oh god.
You want to call for help? Too bad.
You're outnumbered.
And outclassed.
And out of luck.
And now I say something.
With you on our side,
That
we
dude,
can
oh my
win this
God.
war. I'm not on anyone's side. I disgraced my people. So help me, Mark, and whatever that other kid's name is, stop the Empire.
Ooh.
What are you hiding in here?
Hey, got a haircut?
The White Room is for my protection.
Protection from what?
Everything?
From you, Mark.
What? Bro, I feel like this trailer is revealing too much. What? Why? You don't need to show me all this.
Is that all you got? I will never work for you again. We're done.
It's time for a change.
In more ways than one.
Oh, a new suit. Oh, okay.
You look amazing.
I don't know. Feels a little serious.
I gotta say, I feel like why? Yeah, this is not a good trailer. It's not a good trailer. It feels like it's revealing a lot of things, and then you just described every trailer ever made. That's not true. I see what you're saying, Keith, because there are a lot of trailers that do that nowadays, but like there's plenty of trailers that don't. This one is revealing like that was like a big fucking twist. Kate did not get a haircut. Oh, I thought there. Whatever. Maybe that was all the first episode. Maybe. It felt like it spoiled a lot, but if that's all in the first like 3 episodes, then okay, that would be cool. I'll remain optimistic if that's the case. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to check it out. But I don't know if I like this trailer because I feel like it just reveals a lot, but it doesn't feel like super, like it hasn't really gotten me hyped. It just felt like it was kind of spoilery in a way, but we'll see. All right, let's watch The Last of Us season 2. I prefer just going in blind. I agree with you. That's usually what, like, if it was up to me, that's what I would do. But a lot of people like me watching trailers, I guess. So I'll do it. The Last of Us didn't really reveal anything, thankfully. Okay, cool. Because I never played that game. So here we go. Oh, I'm scared though. Oh no. Hi, Caitlin.
It doesn't matter if you have a code like me.
Oh, back in Wyoming. I think we were in Wyoming, right?
Everyone agrees. Are just wrong.
Hell yeah, man. See, that's how you do a trailer. See? There's 2. I think I already saw the other one. Isn't there one from like a long time ago? Like a few months back? I'm pretty sure I already saw that one. I'm ready to cry my eyes out again. Me too, bro. Me too. You just know it's going to be devastating. Mid. Okay, AJ. Whatever. Whatever. Did you guys ever do this as a kid? I'm not calling you a loser, AJ. It's fine. I'm just referencing something I did as a kid. This is like what dorky middle school girls would do my age. Whatever, major loser. Yeah, you saw it? Yeah, I thought so. That actually hurt my wrist, and that's how you know that I'm fucking old. That hurt my wrist. What the fuck? Ashmeet, we don't talk top politics over here, so knock it off, okay? We're literally reacting to movie-related stuff, so I'm just messing with you. I'm just teasing you too. My God. My chest is making weird noises. I don't like it. All right. Isn't that from Mean Girls? Is it? Do they do this? If it is, it's probably not really from Mean Girls. It's probably just something kids did and they put it into the movie. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? It's like the chicken or the egg, you know? We'll never really know. Okay. Let's watch the Twilight pitch meeting real quick. And then we'll come back and watch the Snow White video that I have saved because I was really... There's another Snow White video, though, I think I'd rather watch instead of the one that I have in my watch later, but whatever. Okay. I don't want to do the whole compilation. We're just going to do the first pitch meeting for the first movie, okay? We got a little window into middle school Nat. Egg. Ivan, that's funny. I like that you just you wrote egg. I remember that from Camp Rock. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like a thing people just did, and that so it ended up in like some iconic like 2000s movies, but I don't think it's from a movie necessarily, but I don't know. Okay, here we go.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's based on a book series about vampires. Oh, vampires are extremely cool. Yeah. Not these ones, though. Oh, they're not? No, they're not. You know how vampires, like, turn to dust when they're exposed to sunlight? Yeah. Well, these ones sparkle like beautiful little diamonds. Okay. What about mirrors? Do they, like, show up in mirrors? Yep, these ones certainly do, sir. They seem to be quite amused by them in certain
love
instances
mirrors
as well. Wow, okay, do they do, like, the basic vampire thing of sucking blood out of people? No, these ones try not to. They call themselves vegetarians. Oh, okay. Most of them go to high school. I gotta say, I'm not loving this concept so far. Well, the books have sold millions of copies to brand-loyal preteens with disposable income. Okay, I gotta say, I'm loving this concept so far. I thought you might. So what happens with these sparkly bad boys? Well, the movie's gonna follow this girl, Bella Swan. Oh, and what's she like?
All I have to say is this pitch meeting, I can't wait for them to get to the baseball scene with the Muse song, because that was such a vibe. But like also so cringy. But like as a teenage girl at the time, I was obsessed with that song because of this movie.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what's her character? What's her personality?
Oh.
No, she doesn't. That doesn't apply here.
What? Yeah.
No, she's just as plain as can be, so the girls in the audience can just transpose their personalities onto her. Oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of funny because in the book, she actually has a little bit more of a personality. Like she's more sassy and like a little bit funnier, a little bit wittier. Like she's still kind of a bump on a log, but she is sassy. In the movie. Nothing. There's nothing there. It's just nothing.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, so she's just the blankest slate you can imagine. Aren't the other characters gonna find her boring, though? No, they're all gonna freak out when she walks into a room like she's the greatest thing ever. Oh, they are? Yeah, like at the
They're
beginning
gonna love
of the
her.
movie, she's starting at a new school, and all the guys are all over her, and all the girls are like, oh my god, hi. Wow. So anyway, then she's gonna find out about this family called the Cullens that go to her high school, and they're all secretly vampires. Do they look like they're of high school age? No, they're all clearly in their 20s. So why go to high school? To blend in. Do they blend in? No, they don't. Seems like it'd be
Not at
better
all.
for vampires to not go to high school. What
Honestly.
if the student gets a paper cut? Well, then it would be over for sure. Right.
It'd be all
why
over.
do they go to high school? Because that's where the main character spends her time, and I need them to interact. Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha. That's all you had to say. So anyway, Bella develops this romantic thing with one of the vampires.
She was dead in the movie before she was even a vampire. True. It's also a lot of the stuff doesn't make sense in Twilight. Not just the movie, but like the book. Like obviously, like why even go to high school? It doesn't make sense. But it's just because it's a teen young adult novel, so we have to be in high school.
This guy, Edward Cullen. How does that start? Well, she walks into class, and he looks like he's about to vomit, so that, really kicks things off. Oh, romantic puking is tight. Yeah, so then he's, like, super rude to her, and he stares at her like he pooped his pants, and he's trying to see if she noticed. Undeniably romantic. It is, so obviously they fall deeply in love with each other. Because of the poop stares and the meanness. Yeah, and also he saves her from being pancaked by a van, and then gaslights her about it ever happening. So does she find out that he's a vampire? Yeah, eventually she figures it out. How does she do that? She Googles it. Oh, characters learning stuff via search engines. That's one of my favorite things to watch. It is very cinematic, for sure. So then she confronts him about it. She's like, yeah, I know you're a vampire. And what does he say? Well, he's like, you shouldn't love me, Bella. I'm like 100 years old, and I've killed people. Oh my god, he's 100? Yeah, he's 100 years old, and he's like, I've been watching you sleep every night for months. I, a very old man, have been breaking into your room and watching you sleep. So she realizes how horrifying this is and distances herself? No, she goes with the exact opposite of that. Oh, really? Yeah, she's like a bull. She just sees a red flag and runs at it. Sure sounds that way. Yeah, so then they're officially...
Because it's a toxic relationship, It's like, oh, you're so bad. I shouldn't want you. But I just can't stay away. That's the whole trope.
Dating, so they start to do like romantic stuff. What kind of...
I just want to note, okay? I just want to note, for the record, I was always a Team Jacob fan. I was not a Team Edward fan. Because I was like, I know they're going to end up together, but he is massively unhealthy for her and could kill her at any moment. And Jacob is a nice little dog. He's a very handsome boy. He's a good boy. I mean, I guess he could theoretically still hurt her too, but bestiality, huh? Not in dog form, okay? In human form. Jacob deserved better. I mean, you know, Jacob's storyline got really weird towards the end there with their daughter, with Nesme. I don't know. The final book was just so fucking weird. Anyway.
Stuff are we talking? Well, he gives her some piggyback rides, they climb some trees, just vampire stuff. Wow. There's also this guy Jacob, right? And he's not gonna do much in this movie, but in the next one, he's gonna be a werewolf.
Really important.
Yeah, and there's gonna be a love triangle, because this guy has visible abs, so that automatically makes him a love interest. Very cool. And if we're lucky, fans will like take sides, you know? Some will be Team Edward, some will be Team Jacob.
Yes!
My thoughts exactly, sir. There's gonna be a huge debate over which one of these two monsters gets to hook up with a teenage girl. Wow, now that you phrase it.
It's true. It's pretty creepy. But at the same time, it was mostly teenage girls making those teams. It wasn't really adults. It was mostly girls that were younger than Bella, too, which is creepy. Like, I was 15. It is creepy. But we were doing it. We were participating on our own. We made t-shirts.
Is it like that? I hate it to my very core. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. But anyway,
No,
eventually it's
whoopsie.
gonna turn out that he was never in love with her. He was just kind of like in love with her unborn child. What? Yeah, eventually when she gets pregnant, he's gonna be like, oh, I am vibing with that fetus. That's my girl right there. Oh my God. So anyway, back to this movie.
Yeah, imprinting. Yeah. That, I think everybody reading Breaking Dawn was like, this is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't think anybody read that, even at my age, and was like, oh, great, this makes total sense. I think we were all just like, oh. Like, I understood the justification for what the author was going for, but you're helping their case. Yeah, true, I guess. I'm vibing with that fetus. He was vibing with the fetus. It was so weird. He was love at first sight with their child. I was like, this is not okay. But then they were justifying it because she grew up really fast. Like, by the time like 5 months went by, she was already like 10. They were like, she'll grow up. Or like, I don't know. It was so fucking weird, man. It was just so fucking weird. This took a turn and I don't like it. Yeah, the fourth book, every book was fucking weird. Like, Stephanie, she did something. She was just a strange book, but the fourth book was like whack. Bro called dibs. Yeah. He couldn't help it, Juliana. It's true. It was imprinting. They were destined, I guess, for each other, but it's still fucking weird that an author wrote that. Nessie will be an adult in body in like a few years. It's okay. Ashmi, I don't plan on playing the Last of Us game. I didn't play the first game before, like the first part 1 before I watched season 1, because I just don't. One, I hate zombies, and I know it's not really like zombies. They're like mushrooms, but you know what I mean. It's like a zombie apocalypse game. And also, 2, I mean, I have been playing the Walking Dead game, but that feels a little bit like more something I can handle. I don't want to spoil the story for myself, to be honest. Jacob pre-ordered.
And get to know Edward's family and go play vampire baseball. I'm sorry, I thought you said vampire baseball,
Yeah!
but that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. So what did you actually
Vampire
say?
baseball.
Vampire baseball. Baseball with vampires. Oh, I did hear correctly.
Yes.
Okay, carry on. Yes, and they did that for a bit, but then because
very
something
important.
should probably happen in this thing, some bad vampires show up.
Storm up with a
What's their
smoke
deal?
machine
Well, this one
behind them.
vampire, James, becomes obsessed with Bella, like, right away. How come? Because she's the main character. Right. Yeah, so we find out that this James guy is like the deadliest vampire there is. He's gonna stop at nothing to get what he wants. Well, sounds like it's gonna be tough to stop him. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, they have like a little
Bella's
scuffle
gonna
with
serve
him in a
herself
dance
up to them
studio,
like
and then
a
his head pops clean
silver
off.
platter,
Oh, well,
pretty much.
Good. So then they go to prom, and Bella's like, turn me into a vampire, you coward. And he's like, no, it's the first movie. I can't do that yet. You definitely want to save that for later.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of ends. So what do you think? Well, it sounds like we're gonna be able to manipulate teenage girls into giving us money, so I'm happy. Great. Although I do kind of feel bad for whoever we end up casting as Edward Cullen. Yeah, it is gonna be tough to book any badass movie roles after being known as the sparkly vampire dude.
He recovered just fine. But I think he did have a rough time doing Twilight. It was I don't think he was very happy. Why do all the vampires walk like they're on a airport conveyor belt? Oh my God, they do. Wait, they do.
In this thing, some bad vampires show up.
It's also the way they film it, because in that scene they do like these shots where they're like panning by them in the opposite direction and like coming, like it's very like it's beautiful. It's gorgeous cinematography. Gorgeous color grading as well. Just really top-notch color grading. Twilight is my favorite comedy. You know, Juliana, I have a dear friend who thought Twilight was a good movie, like a really good movie. She like loved, because she loved it as a teenage kid, like a lot of us did. And I was like, babe, I hate to break it to you, but like, it's not a good movie. I love it a lot, but it's not a good movie. But I love it, but it's not a good movie. And she was like, no, it's good. It's good, right? And we watched it again and she was like, oh my God, it's not good. And she was like, but I still love it. I'm like, that's fine. As long as you know that it's not good. But you can still love it. I still love it. But we can't lie to ourselves. Especially because she's an actor. I'm like, babe, we're in the industry. You can't lie to yourself. Twilight was snubbed at the Oscars. True. Dude, what about Bella's dad? Charlie. I love Charlie. I forgot how he was treated by the... Dude, Charlie was like the best part of the movies, and he was just so mistreated by his own daughter. I don't think teenage girls were following the story at all. I mean, like, we definitely were. I can speak as a representative because I was a teenage girl at the time, so I feel like I can speak for all of us and my friend as well. We definitely followed the story. It's just that it wasn't a deal breaker, you know? It wasn't a deal breaker if it was a little weird or bad or unbelievable, but we were definitely following it. Jackie, thank you so much for the super chat. Love your videos. Hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great day as well. I actually really enjoy all the background characters in movies. They're much more enjoyable than the main trio. Honestly, yeah. What's her name? Anna Kendrick. That's like how she got her start. I don't know if that's like the first thing she ever did, but that was before Pitch Perfect. She's really good in Twilight. Like, she's way more likable than Bella. Like, she's really fun to follow in that movie. She's very likable, very enjoyable, does a good job. Like, she's great. A lot of the Cullens, like the girl that plays Alice is great. Like, there's some good casting in that movie. Charlie, like, it was like her third movie. Yeah. Like, I knew it wasn't her first, but that was like her first like big blow up. And Pitch Perfect was like her blow up, like a real, like, now she's a household name kind of thing. But I think that was like might have been her first big blockbuster. Oh, I was 19 when Twilight was released. The girl I was dating at the time was obsessed with the books and demanded I take her to see the movie. You know, I'm sure I've shared this on stream before, but for those who haven't heard the story, one time, many years ago, maybe like, it was before I had a YouTube channel for sure, so it must have been in like 2019 or 2018. I was having a really rough PMS, okay? Just get over it, okay? I was having a really rough time. It was very emotional, crampy, not feeling great. And it was like a Saturday or Sunday, so I had some downtime, and all I wanted to do that evening was watch the Twilight movies. But I didn't want to do it alone. It was very important to me that Tyler watch Twilight with me, and he watched. We got halfway through it, and we paused to take a quick break, and he was like, "Wow, that was crazy. Yeah, wow." And he started to like get up and walk away, and I was like, "Well, we have to finish it." And he was like, "Yeah, but you don't need me to finish it, right? You don't need me here." And I was like, I need you here." And I was like literally on the verge of tears. I was so emotional. And he was like, "Are you really? You need really?" And I was like, "Yes, I need you here." This is very important to me. And he was like, okay, oh God, all right. I was like, you don't have to have a good time. You can make fun of it all you want, but I need you here. And he was like, okay. And he finished the movie for me. And then I wanted to watch the rest, but I wasn't going to make him watch the rest. Like I wasn't going to be like that psychotic. You know what I mean? I knew there was a line that had to be drawn. And I was like, okay, I want to watch whatever the next one is. If it's like New Moon. And he was like, I love you. I love you so much. I'm not watching the rest with you. And I was like, oh no, you don't have to watch the rest with me. Thank you for watching one with me. He was like, oh, thank God. I think he was panicked that I was going to start crying again. And I was like, no, one was enough. And he was like, oh, okay. Was this when you knew Tyler was the one? Oh, I knew Tyler was the one way before that. Way before that. I have a funny story about when I knew Tyler was the one. So we weren't even dating yet, but once we started dating, I think back on that moment as the moment where I knew he'd be down. Just be there. He'd be a ride or die because we were such good friends. This is before we had started dating, before we had confessed our feelings for one another. We were out with our friends at a Mexican restaurant in New York City. And this was very soon to when we did confess our feelings to one another. Like it happened maybe 2 weeks later that we like started dating. But we went out to get margaritas. I've never done this before in my life. And the only person I've ever done this to was Tyler. I just need you guys to know. We're sitting at a table. It's like a table for 5. So it's 2 and 2. And then Tyler was sitting here on my left at the end of the table. My friend was right here on my right. I took a sip of margarita. My friend right here made a joke, a really funny joke. And I turned, but I didn't make it all the way. And I just sprayed margarita all over him. And in that moment, I remember in my head, like time stood still. Because I was just like, because I pre-ordered him imprinted. I love that this is the new language. He pre-ordered him imprinted. I sprayed it all over him, and I remember time stood still, and I just thought to myself, oh no. Because I already knew that I loved him, but I hadn't told him, and I thought he'd never reciprocate the feelings. I was like, I just had kind of resigned myself to like, I'm not going to tell him, and this is going to be something that I maybe regret, but I can't risk losing him as a friend. I think it would break my heart. Do you remember the joke? I honestly don't. You know what's funny? I don't even think I remember the joke 5 minutes after that happened because it was so horrifying to spray him with margarita that was all that I remember. That is burned into my brain, but the joke is gone. I don't remember the joke at all. Anyway, in my head, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, like if I was ever going to tell him I loved him, like it's over now. Like this is over. He's never going to love me. Like this is disgusting. I feel so bad. And burn into your sinuses. It didn't burn into my sinuses at all because it all went out the mouth. None of it went out the nose. It all was just a spray. It was like Kahunaville mist in his face directly. It was literally a spit take out of a sitcom. Like, I have never done that before, but it was literally exactly like what you'd see on a fucking TV show. Anyway, he immediately laughed. But it felt like a minute of silence, but it wasn't. He just wiped his face and he started laughing. And I was like, I am so sorry. And he was like, don't be. That was fucking hilarious. I think he was in love with me already at that point too. Because I think if we just were friends, I might have been like, ooh. But he loved it. And like a week or two later, we were dating. And I remember I told him that I thought it was all over at that exact moment. And he said, oh my God, at that exact moment, I think I fell more in love with you. I was like, oh my God. And so I think back on that now as the moment where I knew He was the one, and he's going to be here for me, like a ride or die. But but when it happened, I was like, fuck, I fucked it up. But when I think back on it now, I'm like, oh. So that was the moment. But the Twilight did earn him points. Twilight earned him a lot of points. I'm not going to lie. The next time I'm on a date, I'll have to drop subtle hints like carrying an umbrella. Carrying an umbrella with me everywhere. Oh, okay. All right, enough romantic love stories. Anyone would be pissed after that. He wasn't even pissed. He just thought it was so funny, which I was very lucky. I think I'm very lucky that I sprayed him and not anybody else at the table because he was so understanding. So romantic. I just, anyway, whatever. Let's get back. What was hold on. There was a video. This one. No, not the trailer. Not the trailer. There was a video that. You know what? Let's just watch the one that I've saved on my watch later playlist. It's fine, by Chris Stuckman. Wait, was it Chris Stuckman? No, he's not negative about anything. What am I talking about? Critical Drinker. Wrong creator. Have you seen the Amelia Perez actress drama? I have not seen the drama about the actress, just the movie. So it seems there's more to catch up on. But first, I want to watch this video, and then we need to dive into the text in the Justin Baldoni lawsuit because I have not read a single text. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm very curious. I would just like to know. But first, let's watch a video about a movie that is already so hated, and it's not even out yet. It was hated a year ago because of the press it was getting. Great meme.
You did it! Congratulations! Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you.
You know, I have to admit that I didn't think it was possible.
Wow,
The
2 Will
skeptic in
Ferrell
me
memes
said
back
it
to
could
back.
never be done, and yet somehow Snow White always finds a way to subvert my expectations. That's right. Just a couple of days ago, the official's trailer for Snow White passed the epic milestone of 1 million dislikes.
That's pretty impressive.
And with a grand total of 40,000 upvotes, that gives it a ratio of 96% dislikes, becoming.
The sad thing is this won't matter if people go pay to see the movie. So we need, guys, if we don't like it, what do? Don't go to the theater. Don't watch it. Because a lot of people will go watch it anyway because they just are like, I gotta know. And I'm like, no! $40K bots. Yes, exactly, Casey. Yes, we don't give them money.
Officially the most hated movie trailer in all of YouTube history.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
I mean, they always said this movie was going to break records, and life has a funny way of delivering when you least expect it.
Right.
Honestly,
oh my God, the CGI dwarves that they added in later when everybody was pissed about the fact that they got rid of the 7 dwarves, so then they tried to save face by adding the dwarves later. To be fair, most dislikes are sexist morons. That doesn't mean the movie will be good, though. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are just disliking it for whatever reason or another. But I will agree that the press for the movie was so bad, and Rachel Zegler did not do any favors. And I don't even hate Rachel Zegler. I liked her in the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but she definitely put her foot in her mouth a lot with the press on this one. Remember the whole Batwoman movie they canceled after basically finishing it? I don't, but that's why, I guess. You can't stand Critical Drinker. Well, I'm sorry. I have to give him a like because I am stealing his content. I don't have a problem with it. I don't watch him a lot, but we're going to be done here soon. This is just, Peter Dinklage riding high. Oh my god.
Amazed that 40,000 people took a look at this and thought to themselves, yeah, this is definitely enriching the art of modern cinema. Can't wait to shell out a couple of $100 to see this with the family.
I mean, to be fair, like none of the live action remakes are enriching cinema in any way, shape, or form because it's just a money grab. You're just remaking something for the sake of nostalgia to make money. So, of course, they all fucking suck in that way. I'm sorry. They're all bad. Even the ones that are okay or good. Like, I don't think they're all bad. I'm sorry. They're not coming from a place of creative artistic vision. They're coming from a money grabbing place. They all suck. And sometimes money grab movies can be okay, but not these ones. I'm sorry.
Tell me, what aspect of this movie are you most excited about? Is it the nightmarish monstrosities in vaguely humanoid form that can't seem to decide if they want to be hyper-stylized, exaggerated cartoons, or photorealistic humans with dwarfism, and instead chose some unholy melding of the two that makes you question your decision to have functioning eyeballs? Is it the tediously predictable princess who saves herself trope that's been used and abused harder than Movie Bob's local buffet restaurant? Is it the least believable pairing in cinema history that sees this woman being jealous of this woman's theoretical beauty? Is it the...
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, well, like, Rachel's gorgeous too, but like, Gal Gadot's, like what are you talking about? I'm like, it's Gal Gadot. She's fucking hot, man. Like, what are you talking about? If I was cast in a movie next to somebody like Gal Gadot and they were like, okay, like, you're going to be the fairest of them all, I would just be like, this is fucked. No, you can't do this. I totally understand why you guys aren't a fan. I feel like for a movie like this, it's okay because I kind of want to shit on this movie. I don't really watch his videos ever, like, for the most part. So I totally get why you don't love it. But I just, for this movie, like, I'm happy to shit on it. So, like, it's kind of fun. Gal Gadot is beautiful. She's gorgeous. Let's litigate the meaning of the word fairest.
The film's star, who somehow managed to fight her way to the very top to take the crown as the most insufferable actor in Hollywood, beating off some pretty stiff competition, I might add.
Yes.
Or is it perhaps the complete destruction of...
Did he put Chris Evans and Mark Ruffalo in there? Why? What? I disagree. I mean, I've never worked with either of them, but I disagree.
Everything the original movie and the fairy tale it was based on was supposed to represent. So many decisions. You know, living in this little YouTube bubble like we do, it's easy to forget that a lot of what we talk about here doesn't really cross over into mainstream awareness. The Ray movies ditched its lead writer for like the 5th time? Who cares? General audiences won't even be aware of little dramas like that. Generic Hollywood celebrity number 4271 had a meltdown on social media about the Orange Man for like the 5th time this week. So what?
Oh.
Most people in the real world...
I was like, the orange... Guys, do you want to... He said the Orange Man. My brain honestly went to Oompa Loompas, and I was like, wait. That is how little I like to think about politics. I have seen Poor Things. Ruffalo's... Okay, I don't give a fuck for the most part. Like, to be fair, it's not like I've watched a lot of his, like, interviews, but I don't really care about, like, actors' politics as much because I'm like, dude, I like you in the movie. Were you good in the movie? He was good in the movie. Orange Man Lamar. I was literally like, Oompa Loompas? Why is she crying about Oompa Loompas? Oh, God.
Know or care about any of it. But Snow White seems to be a very different beast. It might just be one of those rare cases that makes the leap from lolcow internet drama into the real world, with actual real world repercussions at the box office. I mean, if 1 million people took a look at that YouTube trailer and decided they hated it, imagine how many millions more are just gonna quietly ignore the film and never watch it. I'll be honest here, I don't think I've ever seen such antagonism towards a film in my life. Jesus, even The Marvels, arguably the most disastrous flop in MCU history, headed up by one of the most wildly unpopular characters in the entire franchise, still managed to scrape together a 54% positive rating on the trailer.
Yeah, I feel like The Marvels people just were like, ugh. They just kind of rolled their eyes and didn't pay attention to it. But this, I feel like there's a lot more active annoyance about it. That's why I'm interested to see how it does in the box office, because I want to see if people are actually... She for real was crying because of Oompa Loompa? No, well, she was... Well... This is what I mean about outrage tourism. People are so concerned about the politics and drama surrounding the people who make a movie that if a movie is good or not just gets lost in the weeds. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I don't know, guys, like, pretty much everybody in Hollywood is insufferable. Like, a lot of people, granted, not everybody. There's plenty of people who are awesome, and that's cool. But, like, I kind of just care for the most part if the movie is good. Unless crimes were committed. Like, if crimes were committed, like, yes, we need to, like, kick that person out and lock them up. But, like, pretty much everybody sucks here. So, I'm saying here in this movie. I'm just saying here in Hollywood because that's where I am. So, I'm not talking about Amelia Perez. I actually only just found out today in chat that the lead actor had some racist tweets. I'm not even really surprised. I'm kind of like, okay, wow, what else is new? Yeah, like Diddy celebs. Yeah, like that. Like, that's really bad. You know what I mean? Like, that we need to shut down. But somebody just kind of being obnoxious about politics, I'm like, okay, what else is new? And, like, I don't, you know, whether or not somebody's likable doesn't necessarily translate to whether or not they're a good actor or actress. Crimes were committed with the Mulan live action. I did not watch it, but I heard that a lot of changes were made. Did you listen to what the director said about the Spanish language? I didn't hear what he said about the Spanish language, but I heard he didn't really need to learn or do any research because he already knew everything he needed to know. Just pretty ironic considering I don't think he does. Snow White is not made for her. I do agree. I think the Hunger Games movie made more sense for her. I'd never have a beer with Tom Cruise. Love the movies he's in, though. Exactly. Like, there's a lot of actors who I'm like, yeah, I like what they do, but I don't want to hang out with them or I don't want to meet them.
Even Cleopatra, truly the worst of the worst.
Oh,
the ridiculous
Netflix
pseudo-documentary that asked us to ignore facts, verified historical records, and simple common sense in favor of massaging the ego of the show's executive producer.
I remember my grandmother saying to me, I don't care what they tell you in school, Cleopatra was black.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Still managed to get a
That was a good reference. I'm sorry. That was a good use of that scene.
Away with a meager 93% dislike ratio. Snow White really is a next level disaster for Disney, and honestly, short of scrapping the entire project and just taking the tax write-off, I can't even think of a way they could pull this one back and save face. They've already delayed the film by more than a year, probably praying that the controversies would die.
Probably praying that the controversy would die down, but also they needed more time to add the dwarves in. Are we seriously watching Critical Drinker? It's just one video. We're almost done. Okay? One video and then we're done. All right. It's just the only one.
Down while they desperately scramble to rewrite and reshoot it into something that doesn't make the audience want to gouge their own eyes out with a rusty spoon. They put Rachel Zegler on the apology tour to try and soften her public image, and she used every ounce of her acting ability to pretend that she really liked and respected the original movie, and that she wasn't just an obnoxious, abrasive, self-absorbed arsehole. None of it worked, and so here we are, staring down the barrel of Snow White's release date.
Pretty much not everyone, but a lot of people in Hollywood are pretty self-absorbed. A lot of them kind of have to be to make it as far as they do in acting. But anyway.
Which is barely 7 weeks away. The board's been set, the pieces are in place, and it's about time to play the game. And something tells me it's not going to be an enjoyable one for Disney.
I mean, I know he's a critical drinker, but he loves this Anchorman shot. He's used it like 5 times.
It will be for us, though. It's Hollywood, baby. Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
All right. Well, that's it. That's it. Okay. I just wanted to enjoy a little shit talking on this movie because honestly, I've been so sick of the live action Disney movies for so long. 7 weeks. That's tomorrow. Yeah. Mark your calendars, guys. I will not be watching that, obviously. I haven't seen a single live action Disney movie since Beauty and the Beast. I watched Beauty and the Beast and I was disappointed in a lot of ways, but not surprised. I was happy that they did cast some Broadway people in some of the supporting roles, but it was not great. I can't remember the last time Disney made anything original. Yeah. I guess Moana, but I really don't love Moana, but I know a lot of people do, and that's fine. It's just not for me. But that's also because I just can't stand the fact that you can hear Lin-Manuel Miranda's voice piped into the ensemble. Like, it was kind of insufferable to me. And also, I just thought Moana was meh. I just didn't love it. But I don't think it's bad. I just is not really my cup of tea. Jungle Book live action was pretty good. So I think I was too scared to watch that. The idea of and I actually did like Encanto. I will give you that. I did like Encanto. The Jungle Book live action, the idea of it scared me because I was kind of horrified by the idea of just watching a movie with nothing but CGI animals and one human. I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I can do that. It might be a little too uncanny Eerie Valley for me for too long. Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. Having gone to college with actors, the new school, when Project Runway and Inside the Actors Studio was there, you'll meet some who suck and some who don't. RuPaul was surprisingly pleasant. Yes, exactly. Like some people are divas and they love the attention, and others are, A movie about Stockholm Syndrome was a hit for Disney. What? Tangled? What movie are you talking about? I saw the live action Lion King, and all I can say is The Northman was a better live action version of The Lion King. There's a reason I didn't go see that. It's my favorite childhood movie. Like, I'm not about to ruin it. I'm not about to ruin it. You know what I mean? I mean, I know it wouldn't ruin the cartoon for me, but it would just severely exhaust me and disappoint me. Only the bear in the Jungle Book was a real bear that they taught to speak English. The rest were CGI. Well, yes, we all know bears are very trainable, so that makes sense. Being a diva and calling the whole fan base bigots are two different things. That's true. That's true. I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve hate. Okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm not really surprised. How do you feel about Jurassic World Rebirth? I saw the one Jurassic World movie and went, never again. I'm not doing this. It was super disappointing. I saw it in theaters and it felt like nothing but a big fucking ad for Margaritaville and Coca-Cola. That's all it felt like to me. It was so bad. I thought it was horrible. So I haven't seen the rest and I won't be. I'm good. Yeah, Tangled. Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Oh, Beauty and the Beast. I guess that yeah. Whatever. I still love it. The Cinderella live action was actually good. I love it. It kept the spirit while also exploring characters, but it's the only one I like. Yeah, that kind of makes sense that one would be good. It's, ScarJo is the lead in it. I mean, I like ScarJo, but that's not enough to sell me on Jurassic World. No. No. Okay. So I kind of need to know, we're pivoting here to something slightly heavier, but also still kind of Hollywood nonsense. And it's the Justin Baldoni lawsuit against Blake Lively. Last stream, we dove into Blake Lively's lawsuit, and we touched on Justin Baldoni suing the New York Times. We didn't really dive into the lawsuit against Blake Lively and the texts that were revealed. I know some people might not care about this, but I, for one, can't look away. I am so intrigued and curious as to what the fuck is going on. And I want to see the texts. I want to hear what's going on. Because I've been avoiding reading or looking about the texts and saving it for this stream. So here we go. If you want to see where we left off last time, you can go back and watch the other stream. We basically watched a different breakdown from Legal Eagle about... I'm going to like this video just to support law and crime because, you know, they're helping us out here. I'm using their content to learn things while on stream. So I'm sure y'all have heard of Law and Crime, but they post a lot of interesting videos. So make sure to go check them out. But last time we were watching Legal Eagle. I was on Deadpool's side. Now I'm on this guy's side but I don't really know. This is the thing with this. I'm so invested in this. Girl, same. I don't know what's going on. I haven't picked a side. I can't pick a side. I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused. Deer in the headlights now? Yes. Yes. I saw a post about his audio message that he sent her that still didn't really give me any clarity. It seemed like some moments were kind of vaguely creepy, but some moments were really sweet and trying to like make amends with her during the filming process. And so that was confusing. But the comments under that post were like 50-50, just crazy all over the place. You know, some people are just like totally going like supporting Blake and Ryan, and then others are supporting Justin, and then others are like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So it's very confusing. I'm very confused, but I haven't seen any of the texts yet. So here we go.
In the explosive legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, new text messages reveal shocking behind-the-scenes drama. From Blake Lively's alleged push to control the film's edit to these apparent mentions of Taylor Swift and even a weight discussion.
I did hear that there were mentions of Taylor Swift in the... It was referenced in his audio message, but I don't know how it comes up. So here we go.
These text messages paint a very different story than what Lively has publicly claimed. So we're going to break down the top bombshell messages you need to see.
See, and the reason like I care so much about this for those who are like new and don't know what the fuck's going on, like Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin, there are some damning and horrific things in that lawsuit that she's alleging happened on set. Some insanely creepy stuff. Really like sexually uncomfortable things. So if all of this is true, then that's like really damning. But at the same time, it's just very confusing. Taylor has now distanced herself from Blake because of this. I mean, can you blame Taylor? Like, even if, like, you kind of have to be careful when you're like a celebrity of Taylor's status. Hot take, they're both terrible. You know what, you damn dirty ape? I don't even think that's a hot take. That's probably closer to the truth. It's probably somewhere in the middle. So thank you for the super chat.
Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Hollywood is still trying to wrap their heads around this major legal battle that's happening between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively after he filed this bombshell lawsuit accusing her, along with her husband Ryan Reynolds, of trying to smear him and damage his reputation. Namely, the claims here are false allegations of a hostile work environment and sexual harassment that were made against him, in connection with the production of the movie It Ends With Us that starred both him and Blake Lively.
We know, but we need to choose sides. It's fun this way. It is. I understand. A lot of people, this is just like popcorn drama entertainment. I think the thing that's so sick about it to me is if the stuff in her lawsuit is true, then it's disgusting. So I feel bad sitting here kind of like watching this, like eating popcorn, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's so crazy that I can't look away. So I don't know, bro. Talking Man has got nice hair. Yes, he does have very nice hair. We like Jesse over here. I like Jesse. I like Sidebar. I watch Sidebar a lot.
We did a previous breakdown of this entire lawsuit, and you can check it out on our Long Crime YouTube page. What we want to focus upon right now are those text messages, those never-before-seen text messages embedded in this complaint that make up a big part of what is a staggering $400 million lawsuit. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down the most shocking revelations from these text messages. But first, I have to give you some backstory on this in case you
This is going to be another Johnny Depp, Amber Heard situation. Here's the thing, Matt. If it is, if this is another one of those situations, the difference... One, they weren't dating, but the difference is... Blake Lively they have the money to pay. Amber Heard did not. Okay. Sorry, Jesse, for calling you the talking man. It's okay. It's okay. His name is Jesse. He's great.
Haven't been following the day in and day out of this case. So, the conflict began in December of 2024 when Blake Lively filed a formal complaint with the California Civil Rights Department accusing Baldoni and others, and remember he was the director and one of the stars in the film, accusing him and others of creating a hostile work environment on that film set. She alleged sexual harassment, boundary violations, even being pressured into filming a controversial naked birth scene. Lively claimed that after speaking up, she was subjected to retaliation, including what she says is a smear campaign aimed at discrediting her in the public. And the situation escalated quite dramatically, I'll add, when the New York Times published this really big report the day after Lively's complaint that included these conversations between those in Baldoni's camp about seemingly or allegedly taking down Lively. There's one specific exchange that comes out a lot, and it's between Baldoni's former publicist and also his crisis manager, and it included this ominous message. He wants to feel like she can be buried, to which the crisis manager replied, "You know we can bury anyone." Now, Baldoni has adamantly denied these claims. His team is calling them all categorically false. He has accused Lively of making threats to sabotage the film unless her demands were met, so he has reversed the narrative. And
I feel like both of them, I just feel like they both just did a lot of what's been alleged, but then like a lot of what's been alleged probably didn't happen, but I feel like they both are just guilty, to be honest.
New Year's Eve, Baldoni fired back. First, he fired back with a $250 million defamation lawsuit against the New
¿Por qué no las dos?
York Times, accusing them of misrepresenting the story by selectively quoting text messages that supported Lively's narrative, that they didn't do their proper due diligence, that they mischaracterized what was going on here. And then we have this, Baldoni's staggering 179-page lawsuit against Blake Lively and others. And it includes within it a series of eye-popping text exchanges.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure after this lawsuit, I don't know if I could be wrong about this, but I know that Ryan and Blake have tried to put a gag order on Justin, I think, so that to stop the text from being leaked out, I think. I don't know exactly what the gag order implies, but I know they want him to like stop talking about the conversations that have happened. So that's also interesting.
Changes that, according to him, paint a drastically different picture than the one Lively presented in her complaint. By the way, not to take away from this story in any way, but Listen, guys, we just got this new sponsor that helps support this show. I have personally been using their products for years, and I am so happy that they're partnering with us. It's a men's grooming line called Brickle. Seriously, I use their moisturizer.
We're going to let him go through his sponsor.
Did I mention hair products?
Hey, see? You were complimenting his hair.
My hair's quite the topic of conversation online.
Oh my God!
I see them, but
look at
you
that.
can apply these products for free. Yes, free with Brickle's.
There you go. You can have hair like
kit.
Jesse.
It includes face washes, anti-aging creams, hair care. There's so much there. All you're paying for is the shipping. There's no subscriptions. There's no strings attached. It's just a one-time introduction to the brand to see what might work for you. So right now you can head over to bricklemensproducts.com/sidebar or scan the QR code on screen and claim your free kit today. So here's a breakdown
does have great hair.
of some of the most revealing text messages that are included in this complaint.
Yes, here we go.
Now, Baldoni claims that
Come
when
on!
production on It Ends With Us began, he and Lively
fiending!
were close. They quickly bonded. They shared personal stories, inside jokes. They built this, what seemed to be a positive rapport with one another, and that's important. He cites this playful exchange from May of 2023 where he appears to tease Blake Lively about her sentimental nature.
No, give us the
to
beef.
which
Give us the
Lively
beef!
responded in kind with self-deprecating humor. Everything looked like it was on the up and up. And these text messages are important because it appears to show that, at least at first, their relationship was lighthearted, that it was casual, that it was friendly. And that raises serious questions about whether or not Baldoni crossed the line or was inappropriate, and the claims that Lively makes about her feeling what is essentially uncomfortable around Baldoni. Now, in those text messages, Baldoni says, "I like sentimental Blake," and this prompts Lively to say, "Never met her." And when Baldoni teases her further, saying, "I also like a-hole Blake," Lively
we censored
responds
a-hole,
and jokes
okay.
right back and says, "I've met her, so have my suppositories." Now, Baldoni argues that this playful banter exchange between two seasoned professionals suggests a level of comfort between them, that he says it makes it all the more upsetting when she later accuses him of harassment. But here is where the plot thickens, no pun intended. And this is when Blake Lively allegedly attempted to rewrite one of the most pivotal scenes of the movie, the infamous, iconic rooftop scene between Baldoni's character of Ryle and Lively's character of Lily. Now, the big theme, as we're about to get into, is control. Control over the film. So in this lawsuit, Baldoni recounts how Lively had asked him if she could, quote, take a pass at writing the scene, something that he was initially hesitant to allow because as the director, Baldoni was determined to keep control over such a crucial moment of the film. However, after some back and forth, Baldoni agreed and acquiesced.
Yeah, it's like the scene when they meet for the first time.
To keep everything okay, simpatico. And what followed, according to Baldoni, was nothing short of dramatic. Because Lively's version of the scene drastically differed from the original, and that left Baldoni really unsure about her changes. So Baldoni says he tried in a diplomatic way to tell Lively, look, the final scene would likely fall somewhere between her version and the original script. And this was an attempt to kind of ease the tension. However, he says this seemed to affect
Mighty Hobo, I'm just sitting here wondering how the people who just wanted to make a good movie feel about this drama. Like, they showed up to work and create, and then all of this happens. Mighty Hobo, I gotta tell you, it depends on where they fall. Like, if this was their first job as, like, you know, a first AD, like a lot of the crew aren't gonna give a fuck. They're gonna get more work, and this is just kind of like, they can say that they worked on this movie and it's kind of like a funny topic of conversation, but like, it's not really going to impact them. The people who have, you know, like the actors or like higher up actors, like it might, especially with Blake and Justin, it's obviously going to have a huge impact on them, but there's some people who will be more negatively impacted, but for the most part, it's just kind of like a fun little story. Lonely Winter, thank you so much. Well, Lonely Winter. Lonely Winter. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying your name. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello, Raiders. My name is Natalie, otherwise known as Natalie Gold on YouTube or Natty Gold here on Twitch. I also multi-stream on my Natty Gold YouTube channel. You can watch wherever, but if you're watching here on Twitch, thank you. We are reacting to some Hollywood drama. I like to do movie reactions over on my YouTube channel. So that's what I am known for. But over here today, we are diving into the texts in the Justin Baldoni lawsuit against Blake Lively. So It's just a drama day. I hope you had a great stream, Lonelli. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. Okay, let's get back. I mean, the studio behind it sounds sus as hell. Yeah, that studio is going to suffer for sure. Like, Justin's studio. Like, that's not going to... There's obviously some people that, like, are never going to work again. They're going to have to, like... you know, disband and go work elsewhere. But for the most part, most people aren't going to be affected, and it's just kind of like a funny story to them. Here we go.
Defend Lively that she took it personally. And this is where, out of all people, music sensation pop star Taylor Swift allegedly comes in. Why? Because Baldoni claims that at Lively's New York penthouse, he is confronted by Ryan Reynolds, again her husband, and their very good friend, Taylor Swift. And they end up telling Baldoni how great Lively's version of the script is. They're praising it.
Really?
And Baldoni says in the
Oh my God. Wait, I'm sorry. When like there was a mention of Taylor Swift, I did not think she was going to show up in person. I just thought her name was going to get thrown around. This is fucking crazy.
He understood this to mean you better comply with Lively's direction of the script. So in response
yeah,
to
that is exactly, that is what that is. That's saying like, look who I know. You aren't shit. You need to do what I want because I have friends in high places. That's exactly what that's saying. Because Taylor Swift does not need to be involved. Blake Lively is a professional actor. She wouldn't give a fuck if her suggestions were rejected. Griggsy, with all due respect, I've worked on a lot of movies with a lot of actors, and they do care. Especially if they get a producer credit, they really, it's like a power dynamic. Trust me. I've worked on movies where actors, like in order to get them to sign on because they were a bigger name and we needed them and it was an indie budget, you give them a producer credit so they have a little bit more say, they get back end points. It's a way to get them locked into the movie, and there were some hissy fits and things that were thrown in different times. There was a actor we hired that didn't like our casting for one of the choices, and we were like, well, he's it. We cast him already. The director loves him. Like, we're going with it. And he on set essentially refused to work with him and was like, you need to fire him. I'm getting my friend to do this role instead. And we had to do it to keep the movie going because we would have lost our star. So, with all due respect, Blake Lively probably does give a fuck if her scene gets rejected.
He apparently texts Blake Lively that he likes her script. His text reads, also was working on the rooftop scene today. I really love what you did. It really does help a lot. Makes it so much more fun and interesting. And I would have felt that way without Ryan and Taylor. Now, in response, Lively had expressed what was her initial disappointment with Justin Baldoni's idea, first let's combine your draft with the original draft. And she seemed to be really bothered by Baldoni praising her passion for the scene as opposed to her actual contribution of her work. She wrote back, I told them, seemingly meaning Reynolds and Swift, that you laughed a bunch and said it's probably a blend, but you appreciate my passion so much, which of course didn't feel great for me or them to have my passion be praised instead of any specific contribution.
Oh my
or
God.
Even just that you didn't like the pages, which was fine also.
Which is fine also, but clearly it's not fine, babe. Like, clearly it's not fine. Like, you're pissed. I can't imagine anyone would have that huge of an ego. Oh, honey. Welcome to Hollywood. They all do.
So essentially, Lively is expressing that it wasn't her contribution that got the praise, but rather her passion. That's what frustrated her. And she goes on to mention that the influence of Reynolds and Swift in her life.
Wait for it. Oh, no.
They, again, meaning Reynolds and Swift, or seemingly, also know I'm not always good at making sure I'm seen and utilized for fear of threatening egos or fear of affecting the ease of the process. They don't give a blank about that. And because of that, everyone listens to them with immense respect and enthusiasm. So I guess I have to stop worrying about people liking me. Now, Baldoni interprets this message as a clear sign that he wasn't just dealing with Blake Lively anymore. He was now up against two of the most powerful and influential celebrities in Hollywood, both of whom, according to him, weren't afraid to speak up and maybe make his life difficult. Next, the legal documents reveal a very personal point of contention in this story, and it surrounded Blake Lively's weight. You see, the question was whether Baldoni inquiring about Lively's weight was for a good faith reason, or was he fat-shaming her? Depends on who you ask in the case. Baldoni claims he wanted to know Lively's weight because in a certain scene, he was
lift her
required
up.
to lift her up. The problem was, he says he has a history of back issues. So Baldoni explained
Honestly,
he needed
same.
to ensure that the scene would be safe both for him and Lively. And messages within the lawsuit show Baldoni asking Lively's personal trainer for a back strengthening workout plan, with the trainer sending a 4-point exercise list. But the day after Baldoni had apparently made this request, he claims he was summoned.
I mean, he's quite a skinny dude, to be honest. He's not that like big. And also, like, as somebody with back problems, I kind of get that. Like, if you told me I had to lift somebody in a scene, I would kind of want to know how much they weigh, and I would want to make sure I was strength training for that, because I have back spasms all the time. Like, honestly, I understand that somebody might misinterpret. The video's a bit quiet compared to your voice. Fuck, I thought I had, okay, hold on. I'll turn it up a little bit more. Sorry. I understand how one could be upset about it, but at the same time, get over yourself. Like, I kind of get where he's coming from. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was loud enough. No one was complaining. Suplex Tyler right now. Oh no, I'll crumble to the ground. It will not go well. Lift Blake Lively, prove your worth.
Lively's penthouse.
Is this better?
Where he was allegedly berated by Ryan Reynolds.
I'm going to turn it up a little bit more.
Lawsuit, Reynolds confronted Baldoni aggressively, saying, "How dare you bleeping ask about my wife's weight? What's wrong with you?" And this confrontation, Baldoni claims, was so intense that he was forced to apologize profusely. And the lift scene was ultimately removed from the script, allegedly, according to Baldoni, at Lively and Reynolds' request. But this entire exchange is why Lively...
That's definitely going to like add tensions between the two, like throughout the process of filming, because now you're like kind of creeping on eggshells. And I'm sorry, but like it's not like, it's a fair question. I understand that it's a very sensitive question for women, especially in Hollywood, but like, it's a fair question to ask if you have to lift somebody.
Later perceives it and has accused Baldoni of fat shaming. And that's a claim that Baldoni denies, suggesting the situation was taken out of context here. In fact, the lawsuit includes several text exchanges that show Baldoni was allegedly supportive and reassuring when it came to Lively's body image. For example, in February of 2023, before the trainer incident, Lively had expressed concerns about her postpartum figure. And Baldoni responded in a supportive, positive manner, writing back, "I want you to know you will look amazing. Anything you're insecure about, we will talk through and get creative together and make you comfortable. I just don't want you to stress about your body. It's the last thing you need."
I mean, that's nice.
These messages are crucial because they counter Lively's claims in her complaint, which again accuses...
They do, and they are important to share. However, it is important to keep in mind that you can cherry pick messages, right? Like, so we don't know everything, but it does counter the claim that she was saying like all this horrible stuff about her body.
Baldoni of making inappropriate comments about her physical appearance. This is a different narrative. And these texts appear to show Baldoni trying to help Lively feel more comfortable in her own skin. At least there's an argument for that. And Lively's response to Baldoni in this exchange arguably helps him because she writes back, or seemingly writes back, "I understand that you'll never personally know all the nuances of the challenges unless you live this physical moment in time I'm in with this physical road ahead. So having your understanding and support to help me pull this off is critical and very, very appreciated. Not just in my experience now, but also healing from experiences past. So thank you." Now, Baldoni interprets these messages evidence of Lively's vulnerability, her gratitude suggesting that she was comfortable enough to share her personal struggles. We'll see how a jury ultimately views these messages. But let's move on to this.
Okay.
Baldoni also argues that these intimate moments could have been part of a larger strategy to manipulate him. In Baldoni's lawsuit,
that
he
is
makes
wild.
the argument that Lively, while seemingly comfortable with him at all times, may have been using this rapport to gain control over various aspects of the production, which he felt she eventually attempted to do. So the following text from May of 2023 is cited as one example where Lively seems to be freely discussing wardrobe choices and even referring to herself in a sexualized manner, suggesting that Baldoni wasn't the one who pushed the boundaries here, but rather it was her directing their interaction. Quote, "We'll show you both ways, but the beanie is much sexier. It's the look, feels TV without, especially with a crop top in the snow. It justifies the rest of the skin. And also as a girl, I would check out walking down the street because it washes the effort off the rest of the look." Remember, that's from Lively. And remember, Lively has accused Baldoni of making unwarranted comments about her physical appearance, particularly allegations that Baldoni was referring to Lively as sexy. But she was the one who used that word.
Yeah, it's kind of tough if you can't say it about yourself, but then it kind of opens the door and it seems like, oh, you're comfortable with this type of language about yourself and you don't feel uncomfortable with it. But oh my God.
Message could suggest that Lively was comfortable referring to herself in this way in their own communications. So Baldoni is using this example to challenge the claim that Lively felt uncomfortable or that he objectified her in any way. And then there's another text where Lively seemingly uses the term ball buster, and that shows a more casual and perhaps provocative tone. So this is
they're just
also
trying
from
to
May,
demonstrate
where
that she
Lively
talked
allegedly
this way
refers to
too. It wasn't
herself
just me.
as
Like
a ball buster, and that's a term that Baldoni says if he had made it himself to Lively, she would have definitely found it inappropriate. So this text reads, "I'm just a ball buster, but it means a lot to me. I care a great deal." Now, a footnote in the lawsuit suggests that if Baldoni had used this language, it would have been, again, a point of contention. But Lively is the one who uses it in this context, which raises
Sorry, wait, I have to go back because
questions.
ADHD, I was reading the chat and I got a little,
It means a lot to me. I care a great deal.
Okay.
Now, a point of contention, but Lively is the one who uses it in this context, which raises further questions about how uncomfortable she actually was with Justin Baldoni. Okay, so as the production
context still matters. Lively can talk about herself feeling sexy, but that doesn't mean she's okay with any talk like that. It's true. That is true, but it does make things messier because if you're speaking a certain way with somebody that you're working with and you use language like that, they can think that that's okay, that you're comfortable with them speaking about you that way. So then if there's no, you kind of have to have a conversation. What is inappropriate for a man may not be inappropriate for a woman. There's an assumed double standard in some social situations. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I get what you're saying. I think it's hard because if there should have been a conversation, like I can say this about myself, but I'm uncomfortable with you saying it about me. But if there was that conversation and then she did go to HR and then he continued to retaliate or behave in an uncomfortable manner, then like that is a problem. So that's why this whole situation is just confusing and we're just not going to know until court proceedings. And even then we still might not know what the fuck is going on because this is just so insane.
Continued on, Baldoni made the argument that Lively's initial signs of her being comfortable around him, that gradually shifted. And it shifted into something more manipulative. For example, in June of 2023, Lively apparently invited Baldoni to her trailer while she was breastfeeding, and that suggests this ongoing sense of intimacy and ease. And she is the one who introduced these uncomfortable situations because that text reads, "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work out lines." And although Baldoni's response to this is not included here, it was included in his lawsuit against the New York Times, where he appeared to respond saying, "Sure, I'll be right over." But let's not forget, Lively later contends in her complaint against Baldoni that Baldoni would show up uninvited to her trailer while she was breastfeeding. So he said, she said about this situation. Baldoni's take on this message, though, is that it shows Lively was inviting him into her space and creating this collaborative working environment, not the other way around. And one of the most significant allegations in Baldoni's lawsuit is that Lively sought to gain control over the editing process of the film. This is important because during the 2023...
Imagine all of this about a movie that was just a total fucking flop. Isn't that so sad? This isn't even like a good movie. Like the drama around the movie is roping more people in than the movie itself. No halfway gentlemanly man wants to be in the room when a woman is nursing a baby. I mean, I have to disagree with you on that, Texas. I think a lot of people are, you have to think about it. She probably didn't have her boob out. Like, there's nursing modesty clothes. And the thing is, if you're working really long days, you have to like stop to nurse all the time, multiple times a day. Like you kind of just want to get on with your life. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be some uncomfortable thing. Oh, it did make money? Oh, I guess I thought it didn't because, like, nobody liked it. I just assumed. I didn't fact check the box office statistics. I'm not going to lie with you. I just spoke like I knew what I was talking about. What was the budget? 25. Oh, it did make a lot at the box office. Wow. Okay. What do I know? I just thought people didn't like it. I thought it was like a weird... I guess it did well. Never mind. It didn't flop. Just kidding. Speaking out my ass. But all of this over a movie it's not like some incredible piece of cinema that's going to stand the test of time. Like, really? All I saw was the reviews about the movie. And I went, oh, not good. I didn't even look. So, sorry. My bad.
Writer's strike, Baldoni started editing the footage that had already been shot. But that's when Lively apparently expressed a strong interest in accessing the raw dailies. These are usually aren't shared with the cast, according to Baldoni.
No, they're not.
Lively apparently also wanted to have a hand in the editing process, and a text from her appears to read, "Hey, would you mind giving me access to the dailies? I appreciate you may be too slam right now to make this happen, but maybe someone else can facilitate?"
But there's more in the text there that's blurred out. Interesting. Some stuff in that text is... there was something in that text that was cut out. Or could have been maybe, I don't know. Who knows? But that's interesting to ask in a text if you could just have access to the dailies. Which is the raw footage, basically.
You slam right now to make this happen, but maybe someone else can facilitate? Just to put a point
that is definitely an overstepping of boundaries if you are just the actor on a project and not, even if you are a producer, like, you're not the director. That is an overstep. For sure. It is unusual for actors to want to have say in the movie's direction or editing. Oh, is it unusual? I've watched enough DVD commentaries to think it's pretty normal. It's not unusual for actors to want to have say, but it is very unusual for actors to be heavily involved in the editing, especially if they are not a lead producer or in a more almost directorial role. Like, if she was just brought on as an actor, that's very unusual for her to be involved in the editing. Ryan Reynolds probably did the same thing. That's a little different because of his status now, and especially the massive success that Deadpool has had. Like, he has a right to be just as involved in the making of the Deadpool films. And like any movies he makes from here on out, like, it's completely different. She's directed before, so I'm sure she felt like she had more to offer and wanted to have input. That's fine, but you're not the director on this. Did she have a producer credit? I would think probably. But it doesn't mean that you would necessarily have access to the dailies. Not every producer on a film is that involved in the editing. Like, they might get a chance to watch a screener or like see how some of the edits are coming together, but it doesn't mean that they're going to have access to all the raw footage. Yeah, she's listed as a producer, which makes sense. So, I mean, I kind of could have guessed that just because it's how you get names nowadays in Hollywood. You give out producer credits. But I still think this is kind of weirdly overstepping to ask for the dailies. Some of the other stuff, like asking to see if you can have a hand at rewriting a scene or giving input on every step of the process, I don't think that that's overstepping at all. I don't. Having Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds speak up for you might be a little bit of overstepping, but also I'm not surprised that that happened. I think asking for the dailies is weird. People are speculating that Ryan was involved in asking for the dailies. I wouldn't be surprised.
Dailies are a critical point of the filmmaking process, the editing process.
She's only directed a music video for Taylor Swift's song, I Bet You Think About Me. Well, she probably wanted to be a director and wanted to have it, you know. But she's not the director here, so it's just weird. Like, it's one thing to be included, like, on how the edit is progressing. And maybe get some notes on a rough edit. I think that would be fair. But having access to the dailies is very unusual.
We get access to them. If they do, it's usually rare, requires special permission. But here, Lively allegedly repeatedly pushed for access to this because it was evidenced by her follow-up text in July of 2023 that reads, "Please let me know who to reach out to get access to the full gallery of dailies. I'm so looking forward to seeing all that we have in the can." This request allegedly raised some concern among the film's crew. A producer and the CEO of Wayfarer Studios, Jamie Heath, are reportedly shown to be against granting Lively access to the dailies because the messages from the lawsuit reveal their apparent resistance to the idea. There's one that says, "I'd say no, but check her contract first." That's what one producer says. And then a response, supposedly from Heath, says, "It's an absolute no from me as well." This series of texts shows that while Lively seemed to be involved and invested in the production, she was also seen by some crew members as trying to maybe overstep professional boundaries, particularly when it comes to the editing process. Baldoni argues that Lively's attempts to control these aspects of the film, like the editing and the wardrobe choices, were part of a broader
What's wrong with just sharing data? That's so much footage, Grigsy. Like, and it's also, so one, that's an immense amount of work, and it's also a liability. It's a complete and total liability. And you have to think about how long it takes to make a movie, how much work is involved, and the more time that it takes, the more money it costs to make a movie. So the producers at Wayfarer are like, we don't have time for this shit. Like, we don't have time to go through her edits and Ryan's edits. And then when we want to get the movie done and approved, they're going to hold us back because she's a producer, because they don't like the version that we edited. It's actually a huge deal. Like, it's such a headache, and it causes way more problems than it fixes. So it's actually a huge deal. You don't want the actor to say what take to use and complain about everything. Exactly. It would be an insane amount of back and forth. It would take months and months. Don't send your medical information. Stop it. Dailies are all of the footage taken that day. Yes. It's all of the footage. We're not talking about like the top 2 takes for some of the most key scenes that Blake is in. We're talking about like everything. This is insane. You don't just send that over.
Strategy to manipulate him and assert her power and dominance over this project. And this is
It's too expensive. Exactly. It would cost a lot of money. It would take up a lot of resources and time. It could kill the movie because you could kill the budget so much that there's nothing left for marketing. I got that from a liability purpose. It's bad from like every standing. It's bad from financial standing. It would take way too long. It could potentially kill the movie. Yeah, she could threaten on every take that she wanted in the movie. And now, granted, if she was the director or that was something that was factored into her contract, that's why the producer said check her contract first, lol. Because if she said she was going to have editing rights, then like you might have to go and look at the legal jargon in the contract there, but it's highly unlikely that they would have agreed to that in our contract. So if she's asking for all of the footage, that's insane. Just delete the scenes the actor wanted. You can't, thank you for the super chat, David. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. This is just wild. I've never heard of it. I'm sure it's happened many times before, but I haven't heard of this.
Get even more interesting. Because if Baldoni's version of events is accurate, that Lively truly did take over the editing process, this next text thread seems to foreshadow exactly that. Because in one of his texts, Baldoni writes, an unredacted name, so we don't know who this person is, believes that she will then start to edit the movie and tell me which takes to use if she has access to everything.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Hold on.
Baldoni writes, an unredacted name, so we don't know who this person is, believes that she will then start to edit the movie and tell me which takes to use if she has access to everything. And another text from him reads, also, this is exactly how the...
Oh, he's trying to protect somebody else that was calling Blake out for this. I don't know if that's like his wife or just a friend or whoever, but...
writing process started. She asked if it was okay if she could take a pass at some dialogue tweaks on the rooftop scene. Okay, so Baldoni seems to suggest that he heard from someone else that Lively was planning to take control of the editing process. And when Lively allegedly pressed him on her access to the footage, Baldoni appears to respond politely, but he's also firm.
Right.
Because look at this text. Regarding dailies, again, this is to Blake Lively. Regarding dailies, obviously you know I want your input. That's why I sent the 5-hour playlist. But at this point, it's too early for me to share all the dailies. Once I am physically in the edit and have touched scenes myself, I love...
Exactly. Like, he's like, I'll share a rough edit with you. I'll be happy to do that. I'll be happy, like, if I'm between two takes, maybe, like, let you pick between one or two. Like, but to share all of the dailies is just unreasonable. Oh, thanks, Armando. I'm glad you could catch the live too. Hope you're feeling better. Thanks for we're happy to have you here. There was something I wanted to comment on, but I can't. Can I have access to all of Natty Gold's dailies? I mean, just go download my channel. There you go. Have fun. I won't be sending you the raw footage because I'm lazy. There was something I was going to... Oh, problem I have with a lot of this is she's just being an asshole. That doesn't mean he didn't do more serious allegations. His conversations with the PR team seem really slimy as well. Exactly. That's the thing is I think the answer is somewhere in the middle here. I don't really think it's one person is innocent and the other is not. I don't really think that, but I'm more curious about the allegations in her lawsuit of what happened on set because that is the scariest stuff to me. That is what I really want clarity on. But the rest of it is just kind of interesting. You know, it's just like, what's this? Griggsy, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. That is so generous of you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry. Okay, I was just reading some stuff. All right, here we go.
To share with you. Lively, however, did not appear to be easily deterred because she allegedly pressed further with this response. Regarding dailies, none of the producers have had access to dailies. It's just you. So
right. See, she's like, I'm a producer. I should get access.
Were restricted to only the top-level people on the film, responding, no, not just me. Redacted name and Jamie Heath have access to dailies. So this exchange highlights how Baldoni was trying to maintain control over the editing process, but Lively's alleged insistence seemed to grow stronger and stronger from there. And remember, this is important when we're analyzing Lively's claims against Baldoni. Are they true about what he did, or were they fabricated? Were they distorted so she could get control over the film to paint him as a bad guy, particularly if he was resistant to her demands? Now, after the filming wrapped, she allegedly began pushing more forcefully to be involved in the editing process because in a text from February of 2024, Baldoni explained that the film was still in rough shape and that he needed time to work on it before he brought her in. His message read, the movie is currently all over the place and I need a few weeks.
The more people in editing is the worst. Yeah, that's another thing is like people are like, oh, what's the harm? Just share it with her. Have you ever heard of the phrase too many cooks? Like it's a massive headache. It seems like both people here are toxic. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Weeks to get into some sort of shape to even present to you. What I would love to do is bring you in on the 18th and have us work together until you leave. To which Lively responded, I'd love to be in the passenger seat with you as soon as possible. The sooner we put our heads together, the better. Baldoni, according to his version of events, ultimately conceded and allowed Lively to be more involved in the editing process, with text showing his internal struggle over this, because he told editors, what's best for the movie is I suck it up and let her in. And this, he said,
right, exactly. Like at this point, you're just trying to save the movie and get it out there. So he kind of has to let her in, or like it could be sabotaged, you know? If she provided the expense to transfer the dailies, would that matter? No, it's not like that. The expenses would come later. It's not about, oh, it's expensive to send her the dailies. It's about the amount of time that she would fucking take up going back and forth in the edit. It would be like months and months of time. And if she wasn't getting her way, she'd probably stall and sabotage the project. And that would be like a ton of crew on board that were in the post side of things, working on the movie, getting paid to be like essentially doing nothing while their wheels were spinning and they were waiting for decisions to get made. And the movie would get lost in time and never released. So it's not like you can just be like, oh, just pay like this amount of money and I'll give you the dailies. You also can't really do that because you're playing politics when you're making a movie with somebody. Like, he has to play nice with her in order for this movie to get out there. He's trying to like, Hollywood is all about who you know. It's about relationships. You can't just be like, oh, just pay for this. It's not going to work. Oh, saying horrible shit isn't illegal. I mean, who said horrible shit? Which time? You're paying editors, contractors by the hour. Yeah, I mean, you're paying a lot of people. It's just aren't there issues with the unions about people doing other people's jobs? I mean, if it's a union project, I don't really know how like an editor's, what union they're a part of, if it's Teamsters or if it's something else. So I can't speak to that. Obviously with writers, you have to have writers in the writers union. Same thing with actors. If it's a union project, you have to have actors from SAG, or you have to, if they're not from SAG, you can bring in actors that aren't SAG, but they get a SAG credit for doing the movie and you still pay them a SAG rate. I don't know how it works with editors. They're probably in Teamsters or something like that. And it probably falls under that umbrella, but at the same time, the majority of directors aren't in that union, so it doesn't matter. It's definitely different, but I'm not really sure about all of the ins and outs on that. Honest opinion, will Justin work again? Having a powerful actor coming for him and him hitting back. I mean, time will tell. I think the outcome of the trial will be very important. He wasn't exactly like a super well-known actor to begin with. So it's definitely not good for him. I think this is definitely worse for him than it is for her. It's AFGE union member. Oh, you're an AFGE union member. Thank you for the membership, Snacky Munchies. We're happy to have you. I can't stop following this case either. It's just such a mind fuck. If Mel Gibson can work again, anyone can. Honestly, yeah, that's probably true. Like, I think he'll probably be fine, but it doesn't mean that he'll have like some incredible career. But I don't think he's really had an incredibly glamorous career up to this point anyway. So.
Led to Blake Lively gaining more approval over certain scenes, as Baldoni relayed in More text exchanges. For example, when an editor inquired about a specific scene, Baldoni responded, "That's going to end up being a Blake call, honestly. She has, quote, approval of that scene."
Oh,
additionally,
interesting.
Baldoni references a situation where Blake Lively allegedly took issue with a scene depicting someone else, depicting a younger version of her character, Lily Bloom. And this was a scene involving an intimate moment during high school. So according to Baldoni, Lively was not happy with how the scene portrayed her character and demanded that there be changes made. Because in another text he wrote, "When she claimed she was unsafe, she redid the nudity rider to get approval of young Lily too, because she wasn't a part of writing that sex scene and didn't want her character depicting her to have sex in high school. Honestly, it's all about control so she could get to where she will be next week. All good." By the way, that rider is in relation to what we talked about in a previous episode, how Blake Lively had demanded if she's going to resume production on the set, that Baldoni and others have to change certain things that they do. Remember, she made the allegations of sexual harassment in a hostile work environment. But here he's saying that she kind of put into that rider creative control over the younger version of her.
The younger version of her played by a different actor, which is really controlling, I'm not going to lie.
Finally, by May, Baldoni claims that Lively had success.
Is it played by a different actor? Maybe I should do the research before I speak on it because I didn't see the movie. I would assume it's played by a different actor. Right? Anybody see it?
Successfully convinced Sony, the distributor of the film, to let her create her
The text
own
implies it,
cut
yeah.
of the film.
I just don't trust myself anymore after misspeaking on the budget, so.
Allegedly, that she threatened that she wouldn't promote the movie if it wasn't her version, if it wasn't her cut.
Right,
So no longer-
exactly. You get, that's exactly why they have to play nice with her and concede and like let her have the edits, but you're trying to not send her the dailies but also still appease her because the video we're watching said it was a different actor. See, I thought, but like sometimes I just guys, I doubt myself a lot. So just bear with me. Sometimes I get really in my head about stuff sometimes. I'm like, no, I don't believe in myself enough. Anyway, fucking ADHD, bro. What was I just saying? Jesus Christ. Oh, this is exactly what I was saying, is you have to play nice with her, even though it's going to be rough for the movie because you need her to promote it. That's the whole reason you got her attached. She's helping the movie. Just helping to clarify. I appreciate you. I just feel like an idiot. It's okay. Doesn't threatening to not promote a movie put her reputation on the line? Not at all. I mean, now it does, because there's a lawsuit and people will see this and be like, oh my God. But in Hollywood, I mean, I'd say like it's pretty bad form to use it as a threatening tactic, but at the same time, everybody knows that that's the game we're playing here. Like if you are a star on a movie, you're there for your star power and your fan base. You can also be a really talented actor too, but you're probably there because of your fan base and how you can promote the movie. So it kind of goes without saying, if she doesn't get her way, she's not going to promote the movie. It is like a little messed up to say it outright, but she's not the first one to have done that.
Was she merely sitting in on the editing process with him? According to him, she was now fully in charge of her version of the film. And that version, according to Sony, was the one that ended up being released in theaters. Now, Baldoni argues he never even ended in charge of her version of the film. And that version, according to him, she was now fully in charge of her version of the film. And that version, according to Sony, was the one that ended up being released in theaters. Now, Baldoni argues he never even got to see this final cut before it was shown to the public. A text exchange from July reveals Baldoni's frustration with this situation because he apparently told someone whose name is redacted that he had still not seen the locked cut of the movie. I have not seen the locked cut of the film. Evidently, it's been worked on more and she's been mixing. I'm getting to give notes as a studio today, not a director. Very hard, but I'm okay.
Yeah, and he's not the first guy that's happened to, but it's sad. Like that's hard when you're so passionate about a project that you've and you've gotten to direct it, and then you lose control as the director, so then it doesn't even really feel like your film anymore. I know a lot of writers that's happened to, where whole scenes have been rewritten, things have been cut, and their name is still attached as a writer, and it's not at all like the script that they wrote. That happens a lot. And it happens to directors too. And it's so shitty. Khaleesi is just misunderstood, guys. Are you talking about the dragon reference from the audio message? Didn't he call her Khaleesi with her two dragons? Ryan and Taylor. If that's true, that's crazy, Craven. I haven't heard. You're the first person I'm seeing anything about this from. Baldoni and his friends and family were also forced to be in the basement of the theater of the premiere and couldn't watch the movie with the rest of the cast because Lively made the studio tell him. That sounds like something that could just be like a rumor that's gotten out of control, but if there's proof of that, that's insane. Again, we won't know anything until court, but yeah. We're not going to really know anything until court, and even then I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff that just feels like he said, she said. She referred to herself as that. Oh, that's even more cringy. See, because I was kind of saving a lot of this stuff to dive into with y'all, and I heard something about Khaleesi and two dragons, and I was like, what the fuck? There was a post of them in the basement. Wow. Oh boy. There's so much with this movie, it's impossible to keep track of, dude. She called herself Khaleesi. That's pretty fucking cringe. Oh boy. Let's be honest, Lively is worth more than Baldoni, and she was more valuable than him. It's true. That's why that's why he probably got mistreated as a director towards the end, because you have to appease the bigger name. Also, who Lively is married to is a huge deal. So, from a studio perspective and a money-making perspective, I kind of understand why they did what they did. And evidently it worked. They made money. She referred to herself as Khaleesi. That's insane. Yeah. We're spoiling the tea. No, it's all good because I can't keep track of everything, and this stream has gone on long enough, so we're going to end with this video, but I'm happy you corrected me because I didn't know who called who called her Khaleesi. I guess I thought it was Justin, but it was I knew he had been like flattering of Taylor and Ryan and was trying to be appeasing in that message, but I didn't know who called who Khaleesi. That's pretty funny. Yeah, sorry, distributor. I meant to say Sony. On behalf of Sony, that was a smart. Like, I understand why they did what they did, but it's hurtful on Justin's end.
Now, an editor responding to Baldoni's concerns noted, the last I heard was that she was putting a fair amount of our version. Just not sure what that entailed or to what extent. I guess you'll find out. And indeed, Baldoni did find out at the New York premiere on August 6th of 2024, because according to Baldoni,
so heartbreaking, honestly.
He was not initially even permitted to attend the event. He claims that it was only after Wayfarer allegedly convinced Lively to allow him to attend that he was granted access, that she was blocking him from coming. Now, you have two sides here, right? So Baldoni says this was all an effort to hijack the film to get
wow.
Lively claims she was the victim of harassment in a hostile work environment. Not surprising that they should be separated, and maybe he shouldn't be there. But Baldoni sent a text referencing this situation that reads, I'm going to be there, that's just different timing and holding areas in theaters and all the things you can imagine. And embedded in the complaint are pictures of Baldoni and his friends and family.
Oh, see, here we go. We were getting to it.
To be the basement of that premiere while the real premiere was happening upstairs. That he was secluded. He and his close family and friends were secluded to this area, this private area.
That is so sad. That is so sad. I mean, they look like they're having a really great time. They look like a vibe. They look fun, honestly. That's so sad, bro. Oh my God.
Area away from everybody else. Now, as we mentioned in our previous sidebar, Blake Lively's team has denied all of these allegations. They have responded to this filing, this lawsuit, saying this is an age-old story. A woman speaks up.
Oh, that's the tactic they're taking, yeah.
Retaliation, and the abuser attempts to turn tables on the victim. The strategy of attacking the woman is desperate. It does not refute the evidence in Miss Lively's complaint, and it will fail. So as the legal...
This is the thing that's so fucked up is like, if everything in her complaint is true, then yeah, this is so fucked up that this is like happening. But I just don't... It's so muddy and so messy. I just don't. I am so... The lady doth protest too much. You might be right. You might be right. I'm so hesitant to say that I, because I don't know I'm so confused. I'm getting whiplash. I kind of agree with those attorneys. I mean, it is a tale as old as time. It does happen a lot. So I'm like, if that's what's going on here, then that is awful. But also, a lot of this is pretty damning for Blake. So I'm just confused. Don't worry, darling. It ends with us. Yeah, true. Just combine the titles. There you go. I don't necessarily think that's the case. Not Jack. Is it just me, or what Blake is calling an abusive work environment is just people telling her no to unreasonable demands? I mean, it could potentially be that if she has been lying about everything in the complaint. But some of the stuff in the complaint was not, it was pretty horrific. I don't know if you've read it, but you should go back and look at it just, remember what happened with Depp and Heard? Everyone believed Heard because she was a woman. Yeah. I was here. Ugh. This is only the tip of the iceberg. I know, it's fucking exhausting. It's like so much. I am so glad I'm not a part of this lawsuit. Could you imagine like being married to one of these people or being tangentially related and having to deal with this? This is exhausting. This isn't confirmed. Okay, so this is a rumor, but we love rumors, Juliana. Thanks for sharing. This isn't confirmed, but apparently someone who worked on the film said everything was fine until Ryan came to set the first day, and then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Oh, God. Oh, it's so messy, bro. It's so messy.
Drama continues to unfold. It is clear that the tensions surrounding the film's production are far from over. Stay tuned for more updates as this Hollywood saga develops. The drama is apparently just beginning. That's all we have for you right now.
Apparently so, bro. I'm fucking ready for this courtroom trial. Like, I'm so ready for this trial. I need to know what's going on. I have so many questions, but I feel like none of them are going to get answered. I feel like we're just going to live in a state of confusion about all this. I had no idea there was so much drama in just making a movie. Oh, babe. Yeah. I mean, it happens in theater too, where people are dramatic. It's actors. All the time. All the time. Guys, my brain is fried from this. I feel like I have learned so much and nothing all at the same time, which is kind of what you want from stupid drama. But I can't look away. It's like a car wreck. I just have to know. So if they do televise this trial like they did with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, I will be watching. I will be on the edge of my seat, streaming nonstop. I will have to. What's more exhausting, this or Elden Ring? Ooh, They're exhausting in different ways. I think Elden Ring still. Elden Ring was exhausting, no pun intended, but on like my soul level. Because every time I would get close and then die, I would become so stressed that my stress levels just rose and rose and rose. And it was really unhealthy for me. So I was actually physically exhausted. Right now, my brain is tired, but I'm physically okay. Anyway, that's all I have for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed this reaction stream. We will get back into the games eventually, but there's just been so much to talk about. You know, I can't look away, and I had to learn some stuff, and evidently I still don't know that much. There's still more nonsense and drama, but I just had to figure it out a little bit. Apparently Nice Pool and Deadpool 3 is based on Justin. I would have to go back and rewatch that scene. Oh, Nice Pool. Wait. Oh, the guy that was. Oh, Nice Pool. The Nice Ryan. That guy. I was thinking about the scene with all the Deadpools. Nice Pool, the guy that was like just super friendly and like likable and had the dog. Interesting. All right. You missed it? Oh, I'm sorry, Giant Wombat. Yeah, we've been here for a little while. I'm going to see if there's anyone. Oh, we can raid somebody. Guess who else is just chatting and gaming today? I didn't game today. I just chatted. But guess who else is online? Our friend Vicuña. So if you are over on Twitch, we're going to be raiding her. You can check out my Twitch. It's the same name, Natty Gold, as here on this YouTube channel. Thanks so much for hanging out. This is a game, lol. It kind of is. You just don't play. You watch. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Had a lot of fun. I will see you guys next week before the Super Bowl. So the week after that should be... I'll be happy or sad. So pray for me if you don't mind. All right. Talk soon. Love y'all. Bye.